at Cinderin are going to be the two bigger carries of this game.
Ah, isn't that so nice? You know, we've got our
I'll
game.
carry you.
Oh, thanks, Sin. That's Sin.
No problem.
I'm small. I'm light now. I'm actually I'm backpackable.
Yeah, I've gained weight, so that's perfect. There you go.
Great transference. We've got our game faces on Sin. We're ready to go right now. OG, they're the same. And of course, you start with an OG draft. You think everything's gonna be normal, but I got a thing to break to everyone at home. That is.
Halo. Tes.
They're the same. And of course, you start with an OG draft. You think everything's gonna be normal, but I got a thing to break to everyone at home. That is.
Halo. Tes guys. Suaraku ada gak guys? Halo. Tes guys. Suaraku ada gak guys? Halo. Tes.
This is new, so I could definitely see that being the line of thought for them here. On EG's side, though, I love what Gunnar said. Keep an eye on mid. That is where stuff is going to be happening.
Thompson's already starting up. Just in case you didn't know, EG, look into my eyes. What do you see?
Well, they plant the flags, but it didn't scare OG or EG away from getting 2 runes at least. So I guess they planted the flags on one side only.
I was actually waiting for them to do what they did in the first series. We actually got cast on this main stage. It's like, oh, this would be fantastic. OG, that game was done. But they started off with like 4 flags, all planted around 1 bounty rune. But let's have a trick of our lane. So as we had now a quick 1 minute, Thompson Invoker, he's going the course to begin with. We'll see how he transitions. The battle against Vale, it gives us an aggressive lane up on the top. Anna and Notel, they've been dual laning together for absolutely ever, but EG, they bring 3. If the first 2 doesn't succeed, you bring everybody. Pushing Anna back under the tower with a metamorphosis damage.
Whoa,
He's actually going to have
Anna
enough. Anna will die on top lane.
Mantap,
Arteezy spills the first blood. You want to send a message, that's a good way to do it if you're EG.
And this is one of the biggest benefits of Enchantress as a hero, is that you can leave her alone in the start against this lane. I don't see them killing her down here with Seb and Jerax, but at the same time, Jerax can't leave because Seb will lose the lane. So EG with the right read on how to get the lanes to begin with could get them off to a very nice start here.
With the sentry wall down, yep. How does Jerax coming close? He's going to have to work with him. Anna being initiated on once again. Arteezy still got a little bit more time to get that range damage in, but now loses attention to Notel. Consumables are going to be the order of the day for OG, while in mid, Thompson, he's so low, battling against the metal. The cold snap will push him back.
They have rotated Jerax top, but what this will do now is that S4 will have almost a full level advantage against Seb bottom early on, or at least a decent one. And once Enchantress gets level 6, this lane is not inhabitable for Earthshaker anymore, so OG, this top lane, when you rotate like this, you have to win it, or you need to at least ensure that Ana feels somewhat happy up here.
Yeah, actually getting some CS would be a nice way to move forward. I'm loving Thompson and Samael, like Thompson literally requesting, Samael, come and fight me. I'm not even getting us out. There's not even one coming out. Samael able to hit these back-to-back stuns, missing uphill 2 times. Thompson, you get back under the tower. He's juggling the ball. He'll the rumble. Underneath the tier 1.
I was gonna say Gaben, but they're the same person, so.
Everyone's ice rock in their hearts.
This is a huge start for EG, honestly. Good cold snap from Thompson will at least stop half of the regen rune. Wants to high-five with Samael. Samael will high-five him, so at least there's some friendship in the mid lane.
Samael will bring his bottle in.
Never mind, no friendship mid lane.
Here comes the ES roll in from Trick. A little bit up top to Thompson. Just sends them up in the air for a quick moment.
So Samael is winning mid for sure. Enchantress S4 is winning bottom for sure. And this top lane is currently Arteezy far ahead because of that first blood advantage as well. So fair to say right now that EG are ahead in all 3 lanes. And this is going to be from OG. They're trying to get in on fly. Lovely new cosmetic. I love this new aura.
What is this? It's just like I got a bubble. I got a frost bubble.
When you skill up Arcane Aura, every time it levels up, all of your allies have like an animation for a short time.
Oh, rolling boulder in from Trick, well off the target. And as OG try and gets a little bit of space, Notel just stunning up Trick for the moment. Good protection. As OG try and gets a little bit of space, Notel just stunning up Trick for the moment. Good protection. As OG try and gets a little bit of space, Notel just stunning up Trick for the moment. Good protection. As OG try and gets a little bit of space, Notel just stunning up Trick for the moment. Good protection.
misses, but Arteezy is the one having the best time regardless, even if these spells miss.
Ini niatnya si EG ini mau ngeharas carry-nya. Menurutkan RTC di bot ya, ini malah ketop dia. Ngeharas biar ananya nggak jadi nih.
I'm loving watching this mid lane. I can't even take my eyes off it. I should be looking at the top lane because there's a tri-lane up there, but Tops is just living on either a prayer or quarter HP. Maybe both. He just refuses to move back out of this lane or bring us out. He keeps getting clipped. An illusion rune for him, but Crit gonna rolling boulder in. Thompson sidesteps him quickly. Space to be created. He's got concept for tornado. Able to connect on both.
Mati lagi kata Thompson. Nice.
To reach Thompson on cloud 9.
This is how this mid lane is going to be. Sumail and Thompson will be trading non-stop. Invoker wants to trade so he can make use of the Quas Orbs, and Sumail wants to trade because he can kill with an ally. And that's the second kill here in mid now. Sumail off to a really hot start.
Kasih papanya Big Daddy Notel. Tadi siapa yang masang tuh? Nggak lihat aku. Oke, di skill sheet-nya itu si Sep ya. Sep lagi mimpin kedua si S4. Gila itu dipasangin benderanya Notel di mana-mana nih, di tengah sama di run.
So Sep will back off, and you see Crit already rotating over. And S4, it looks like he wants to try and contest.
Oh, okay. Sep didn't want to fight for it, so that's 3 runes for EG, who's respecting the rotation out of Crit. Saw him on that observer ward in the bottom area that Crit was coming, so his TP at least secures that rune.
Arteezy Tirol Blade, Sumail Lina, Fly ya. Fly-nya GM, pencet terus S4. Art Spirit-nya Crit. Itu oke, trinya siapa ya? Jerak PA Ana, Grimstroke-nya Hotel. Mati lagi sih. Oh, masih ada heal. Dia berhasil di heal sama si Drain Protector-nya. Fight me anjay. Gila sih, Thompson gondrong. Invokernya ya gondrong anjir. Lagi mantap. Waduh, Jerit mah mati nih. Jerit. Si Fly dapetin double direct dia. Berhasil nge-secure dan nggak diambil si Thompson. Bocil udah diaras sampai power ya. Jerek mati nih pasti. Masalahnya si S4 udah level 7, udah membuka impetusnya. Notanya pakai train. Sireknya Grimstroke. Lihat tuh mukanya Arteezy itu santuy. Ana lumayan lah, panik dikit lah. Mati si Ana bisa, dia ngoblin. Masih delay ya, stun skill 2-nya Lina. Apaan tuh? Networknya diunggulin sama Iggy, 3 hero core-nya semua di atas. Si Terrorblade, Inchan sama Lina. Beda jauh loh. PA-nya cuma dapat 2500, sedangkan Terrorblade-nya Arteezy 3600 tuh beda 1000, cukup bahaya bagi OK, tapi menguntungkan ke EG-nya. Karena perbedaan item yang cukup jauh ya, 1000 itu ya cukup jauh lah kalau itu tadi. Bisa dapat Bright Band tuh. Notel ngapain Notel?
It's really good times for S4. And you look at the CS chart, all top 3 sitting on that EG side, and the Shaker who was doing well in the start, I think quite a bit of his CS is probably jungle creeps, and now this bottom lane, is he going to be able to farm here? Well, S4 is moving, so for now he is.
EMP Tornado just pushing Smell back a little bit further.
But Ana is still doing well. And this top lane, we know how
Spirit
important it is for
itu
OG
hero
to get
poolnya
on every
si
game.
Jerit.
And his game looks solid right now, sitting on the 50
God
CS
SD.
and an 8 Same as the Terrorblade. They're both level 6. So both of these heroes are having a good game and are happy.
Basicnya dipimpin oleh si Sumel ya, beda satu dengan RTZ. Oke, Ana langsung ke apa? Battle Fury. Strike ke Battle Fury dia. Mati nih, ke pick off nih dia. Oh, masih berhasil cover dengan rolling bouldernya. Tapi masih dikejar sama Cep loh. Gila, dikejar sama Cep. Lah kena. Mati sih. Ya. Wah, rolling bouldernya baru keluar. Tadi dia setelah kabur pakai rolling boulder ngapain sih jeritnya balik gitu loh. Sumernya lagi di jungle, diganti midnya sama Fly, tapi nggak kena, mantap. Nah, Fly nih, Fly ketemu Notel nih. Ini botnya kayak dilepas deh, tuker tower, top sama bot sama-sama dituker. Gila sih RTC farming pakai dropletnya gila banget anjing. RTC mah micro skillnya mantep gila. TI9 sama S4. S4 udah hand midas. S4 nya mau bikin apa itu? Berikan back. Oh mah gila sakit banget. Kayaknya nggak bakal di war sih tengahnya. Masalahnya Notel masih level 5, dia belum punya ulti. Kalau kecuali si Notel udah punya ulti, pasti bisa di war. 11 menit, skor 4-2, oke.
But it's well worth it. They got the biggest tower of the game, and there was no fighting from OG because Treant is only level 5, so they didn't have the overgrowth, they didn't have the soulbind. Both supports from OG sitting on those level 5s when EG supports are level 6. That's such a huge difference in power.
Sep ke pick off ini, frostbite-nya mana frostbite-nya? Dengan ada orang frostbite-nya. Nice. Udah pasti ke pick off sih, udah pasti ke pick off. Di type Fly ngetip. RTZ ke manta ini. RTZ manta. Waduh, Fly ke pick off. Aduh, oke, balik titip. Balik titip. Oke, thanks.
Until S4 has a counter item, that is the one way they can kill her outside of using the PA for the hardcore physical burst.
Iya sih, ini kayaknya si apa namanya, Inchennya bakal strike ke Hurricane tuh, dia beli itu Dragon Lance. Pick off sini Sumel, ke pick off sini Sumel. Tapi dia masih punya magic wand kok. Nah, stunnya miss. Ini balik aja. Frostbite, nice. Ada vision, ada sentry. Tip balik, tip lah, mantap. Greedy sih, greedy. Jadi kalau si apa stunnya Sumer karena itu si invokernya bisa pick off tadi. Oke, setup smoke ini mau nyuli Ana sih kayaknya ini. Dia mau ke jungle atas. Si CM-nya gambar ke sana. Tapi yang sama Ana ada 3 orang, 4 orang deh. Gak jadi sini. Ini kalau nekat dimajuin tuh kan. pick off dua supportnya. Sep, mantap bloknya sumpah. Tapi si Enchantress keras loh. Thompson masih hit. Wah, Thompson satu hit lagi. Mantep. Dua support ditukar satu offlane ya. Tapi goalnya masih berat ke Oki. Jadi kalau Thompsonnya mati, ya Rookie oke tuh. Sayang Thompsonnya nggak mati Thompsonnya.
You get a little bit bloodthirsty on Thompson and starts chasing. And Thompson was kind of lucky to stay alive there too. He almost died to S4 and you just
Train
you
lagi
see the problem
apa?
they have with this Enchantress. The only way they were 4 heroes against Enchantress and she was fissure locked off and it wasn't even close. Like they were tempted to try for it, not possible without the PA. The vessel will
Edwardnya
change things,
Sumel udah kesalip
but it's
sama
not there just yet.
PA-nya.
Thompson, he needs another 200 gold.
Same with the battle fury for Anna. Maybe he starts getting involved
Oke,
after
result dari Dota Plusnya tuh 51% ke OK ya. Berat ke OK tapi ya 50-50 nih. Cuma menang 1%, 2%.
It's like a 2 for 2.
Yeah, it should be. EG will claim the north, OG will claim the south.
There it is.
Ana sih ini, ke pick off sih ini Ana. Ke pick off Ana ini. Ke pick off Ana, mantap dia kena silent. Dia pun nggak ada stun.
Got any more chat wheels left?
It's kind of the issue when rolling boulder became your stun instead of just the kick.
Yeah.
Then they move in towards the mid lane. Rolling boulder
Thompson.
once again. Over Thompson. G-Rex is
Tendang,
nearby.
tendang.
Gonna put down the ink swell, but Thompson, the damage may just be more
Thompson
than enough
mati.
to kill him. He turns for an EMP tornado, but in death he'll burn mana, but that's it. Fly once again being very liberal with that freezing field.
They're immediately putting this lens to use. Sumail's lens, or well, not immediately, but in that instance they are putting it to use, showcasing how good this item can be against a hero like Invoker. Their reach is just exceptional. Earth Spirit can roll in from really far away, and the Lina can very easily follow up, even though the Earth Spirit stun is only level 2. It's enough for Sumail to connect
S4
the stun.
is your combination. Seven will get the first down
S4.
off, and maybe not the greatest of chaining against this S4.
Tapi ke heal sih tuh, nge-heal sih Enchantress-nya. Yang macam-macam sama Enchantress. Slownya itu loh, gila sumpah. Gila slownya, sumpah.
Hey, maybe he's untouchable.
Slownya itu loh,
So now it's EG being aggressive. Thompson with the high ground. EMP tornado gonna make it difficult for
Back
RTZ.
RTZ,
Decides not to
jangan
dodge
greedy.
it, but he's got 21 charges.
I love that you say decides not to dodge it. There's so many clips of RTZ manta dodging whatever, so you're just
Everything.
assuming he will never fail. He decides not to.
Kelemahannya artis itu sih di cliff ke itu loh, ke tempat board.
Hey, I put RTZ up on a pedestal for a clip.
He is very rich, by the way. 10k net worth, 17 minutes in. It's generally a very dangerous proposition to give Terribly complete free farm, but I just think in this game OG barely had a choice with their draft. It's just very defensive, very slow, with both PA and Treant and Grimstroke. They need
Halo
to
yang
just
baru
have
gabung
someone to
nonton.
play around. And since the other lanes were EG favored, the tempo of the game is just completely being dictated by this EG side. Now what I do want to say OG shouldn't do, stop going for this Enchantress. I think it's really hurting them. The kills, you have to accept S4 will be farmed this game. If you're not bringing your PA to this kill, it's too hard.
First 10 killnya udah diambil EG ya.
Kind of ever, unless you
EG.
see pretty much the entire enemy lineup somewhere else on the map. Because the counterplay is dangerous too, right? Imagine you kill the Ench,
Yep.
you used everything.
Yep.
And then, what if there's an Earth Spirit coming in? What if there's Selena?
This is when you need, you need Stifling Dagger from range, you need Seb to be the controller, you need to create a little bit more space. And I'm actually liking this a little bit more from Seb. He's going in for the Aghanim Scepter, then he's going to build for the BKB.
Ananya
so he can
disorator
be
sama
that
BKB.
new
Tapi mending
Scepter,
ananya bikin BKB dulu deh.
to be
Kalau
in the
misal
face
pengen
of EG and give Anna that
ikut
space
war.
to farm. He doesn't want to join it. This is the way OG always play. It's 4 attack, 1 farm.
Yeah.
And so far, he's now ahead of both S4 as well as Sumail. But he's still got a couple of thousand gold to catch up with before he's going to get in front of RTZ. But Anna, he's going to move quick. He's going to farm quick.
Yeah, I don't think. I think if you just mathematically let these two heroes completely free farm from the start of the game, and they buy whatever items they want, Terrorblade wins. He just has better farming potential. He can farm wave while farming jungle. His first ramp-up items are just faster. The PA has to build this whole battle curve before trouble starts kicking in.
Notel walking in range of the sentry ward. That dire sentry would get quickly dewarded. Have another one further up, but Anna and Jirax on the bottom lane trying to push, but Samel's already moving down. Coming past his own shrine, TP support's on the way, so ES stop. Jirax gonna land out a stun over on ES, but PA currently Samel!
Niatnya tuh, frostbite-nya mana? Frostbite, nice. Wah, Ananya berhasil blink. Hampir. Backup-nya Ichi agak teras sih tadi. Gila sih waktu Fly buka ultinya tuh si Ana langsung ngeblink anjir.
30 seconds bounties.
Semok.
30 seconds till bounty runes. There's no vessel charges, so this fight for OG, if they choose to run into the enemy team.
Butterfly ya, si RTC mau bikin butterfly. Ke silent, Thompson-nya mati dah, ini udah pasti ke pick off. Mati. Lumayan nih kalau Thompson mati kan nggak ada yang ngedeteksi ada RTC lagi Roshan kan ya, kan nggak ada itu Sunstrike. Oke, 20 menit udah berhasil ngambil. Klaim menit 25-10.
7,500 and increasing as the net worth advantage. The experience is shooting up as well.
And this is it's a bit reminiscent of one of Thompson's Invoker games, the TI9, where I think it was against LGD. They sat on him really hard in mid and
gila sih RTC kalau bener-beneran bener-bener dibiarin farming, goalnya tuh lihat tuh. Yang ngandelin bayangannya gila sumpah RTC tuh buat mikronya.
No vessel charges, and it just RTC's having the time of his life. This is such a free game right now. Terribly, yes, butterfly.
Oke, ke angkat Ana. Gila, menit 21 RTZ mantap sama butterfly anjir. What the fuck, mapoy.
And now RTC feels confident to go and push towers. He knows he has the Aegis, so even if he gets Echo Slam, there's that second life. Maybe we'll hit the tower. OG seem like they want to try to defend this one though. Deso is completed on Ana. This is his first peak.
Seb's doing the full wraparound. He wants the greatest.
RTC belum siap metamorphosisnya kalau mau war. Kurinya berhasil ke pick off. Isinya apa tadi? Kurinya. Oke. Wah. Ya jadi kecolong mananya. Oke, di fight balik. Si RTC kena silent, mantap. Nice. Si Street ke pick off. Ini capnya bakal ke pick off balik sih. Terlalu maksa Ojinnya. Tadi Thompson terlalu maksa sama Sepnya nyari Sumel kan ya. Tapi teman di belakangnya lagi diharas sama RTC.
Thompson's clearing the creep wave. He understands they can't push up high ground. The illusion is actually giving the tower health with the regeneration up. It's all backdoor protection.
But EG lost nothing there. They didn't even use meta. They didn't have it. So next tower, it's already being circled by Fly. We're gonna see it now. So Thompson catches Sumail, good defensive duels, but this role, the Earth Spirit is going to stay down here forever. Okay, it might not be on the replay either because we see the fight up top, but you can imagine for yourself what's happening.
Ini beda kalau si Sumail tadi berhasil ke pick off itu bakal kacau ke EG-nya tadi.
And Ana just still feels like he can't really fight. He goes in and just gets blown up by spells.
It didn't help that he ended up jumping like into Lagoon, like there's no no BKB to protect him, and he jumped right on top of the Crystal Main to try and stop the freezing field, so the rest of the team can move fight. But we'll have in this own debate as well. It's like, can the Crystal Maiden actually die? We were asking this during the drafting phase. Like, is this just gonna be a massive problem? I tops him.
Historically, PA has just murdered many a Crystal Maiden over the course of Dota games, but nowadays, Maiden has health talent, she buys bracers. Look at Maiden's health right now. Sure, it's only 5 armor, but she has 1430 health with just 1 bracer and a 1 in this talent. Can buy a Ghost Scepter maybe, can buy another bracer, just tank up, and you will not be one-shot jumped by this PA. You get a chance to hold your ground. And if you get your ulti off, all this defensive armor is gonna, be super helpful.
Bakal dipush Hydro-nya, didapetin tier 3-nya. Udah buka metamorphosisnya si RTC sih. Double damage dipakai juga, easy sini, easy barrack sini. 1 menit lagi tuh, 30 detik lagi sih. Aegisnya ke reclaim. Nice. Kasih mid sih. Oh, dia pilih ke strength. Aegisnya ke reclaim sih itu. 10 detik lagi ke reclaim tuh.
This game has been very one-sided so far. I wonder if OG can find a way back. We've seen them come back from ridiculous situations many times before, but it's definitely
it's a PA crit that I never want to say
Duh,
is
udah
not
ke reclaim.
gonna work. Like, what happens once Phantom Assassin gets buffed up? What happens when you start giving her alacrity with a BKB,
Absolutely.
putting her into the
2
fight?
menit lagi, 27 baru bisa Rosan.
Like, hold through that blast, Thompson. What are you doing?
This is an item that'll help. The Enchantress picks up the Solar Crest, so whoever the PA jumps on, S4 will defensively solar.
BKB udah jadi ke MKB. Mcel ya tadi.
This item is so good when you have Terrorblade in your team, giving him that massive burst of attack speed. He's a monster in this game, just flat out insane farm.
OG is still prepping for the fight.
Yeah, it feels like they need to wait for BKB Ivana, and then they can try to make a move with a smoke, try to find a way to get a fight inside their own vision where they can get an overgrowth. You need to overgrowth this Terrorblade, but he has both Manta and BKB, so he has 2 breaks now instead of only the 1 of Manta. It's a tall order. And probably the lowest.
Ya, kita jangan lupa di like, jangan lupa di share juga biar rame.
Options don't exist.
Nobar santuy-santuy aja kita. Oke, PA udah BKB, si RTC juga udah BKB. Ini bakalan seru sih warnya ini. Masalah kan dua-duanya tuh sama-sama skill disabler ya.
He has some good solutions for Terrorblade illusions. He has Tornado, the Deafening Blast, EMP, Ice Wall.
They're picking out Seb. It's like, what is this guy doing down here? The creep wave's coming to a tier 3 tower. How crazy is the ES?
Seb udah aganin.
Crazy enough that you're happy to bring Samael back, but he can BT back to the front lines.
Yep. Well, hopefully not the front lines. That's not where Lina wants to go. Took the damage talent on Lina as well, on level 15, the Light Strike array damage, so it doesn't feel threatened enough to take all the health. It's a pretty good pickup to get health against a hero like PA though. You're naturally not too high armor, and I think earlier today we saw Moon, when he was playing the Lina, I think he took the health talent in that game against a PA, I believe, maybe. To the same problem. Aghanims
done.
Yeah. The problem for Ana now is you're like, finally I have my BKB, but the counter item's already ready. There's the Aghanims on Lina, and there's the Terrorblade MKB. So this upcoming fight.
Oh, Seb's dead. Seb is totally dead. He's just walking right into the middle of EG. Smoked up, looking to attack. The Ace Rune is down, but he can't have enough
Ana. Cep ke pick off.
So Seb is down.
Kira Ana tadi.
Himself on the bottom lane. So it was Seb who was walking away. Both were there together, hoping someone from EG, just one person like Lina, would come out to try and fight. But they have no creep wave, so pushing in. They're going to fight with the Alpha up. Does EG actually have enough? No. No. You have protection on multiple front split, as well as 7 charges of living armor. They'll burn through it, and now you see the power of EG.
Bakal diambil nih baraknya. Tinggal mid. Kalau bisa dimegain sekalian.
got the tower, but he can't backdoor the melee racks. It's too much regen, too tanky.
Oh, gak keambil bareknya
Take
karena
the shrine, he's gonna keep cutting the mid wave. Good job from Thompson to make sure the mid wave was pushed out. If he didn't manage that, they could have lost racks in this instance. And OG, it's
Oke, setup
desperation time.
smoke
They need
dari
to fight.
Oki.
Their metamorphosis is running out.
Anna walked underneath the observer and sentry.
Mau nyulik siapa tuh? Mau nyulik Enchantress.
Finds his own target. It's S4. Send him up.
Nice.
Timing though. Seb jumps in.
Aeolnya bagus banget anjing.
Looking for the stun. Anna looking for his own corner. Anna can't attack it fast.
Artesinya ke nggak bisa gerak dia. Nice. Semua skill udah kepake sih. Semua ada buyback sih. Ana buyback, S4 buyback, Notel. Wow. Eco slam-nya nggak kena apa-apa sih. Eco slam-nya masalahnya. Mantap. Sep ke pick off, tinggal Jirek. Gila sih BKB. BKB-nya mantap kali anjing. Berguna banget. Udah GG sih. Udah nggak ada buyback semua. Ana nggak ada. Ana greedy. Ana throw. Langsung GG dah ini. Udah nggak bisa sih ini. Udah nggak ada buyback core-nya. Masih nekat dilawan. Udah jelas nggak bisa ini. Masalahnya core-nya nggak ada tuh. Dua-duanya core-nya nggak ada. Udah pasti GG. Nice game anjir. RTC-nya sih gak ada obat loh.
Oh, banyak nonton lewat ndi.
Apa? Oh, anak Dimas woy. Gila sih EG-nya anjir gak ada obat, Cok.
Iki game ku piro wes?
Game pertama lagian.
Waduh.
Gila Sumail
Ayo
kontrol
oke.
banget.
Ayo oke.
Iji lah. Gila sih mainnya Iji rapi banget anjing. RTC ini di jarne farm ket awal.
Karaoke.
Iya.
Alah. Aku piye iki nonton lewat ndi iki?
Diserah kowe sih, aku sih nontonin Twitch.
Duh. Kono tuh aku.
Nontonin channelku iso, tapi enak suara aku double
Iya,
rupanya.
ono suaramu, double.
Di
Ana
silent
delay
sih.
kan dek anu. Dek anu kan.
Delay sithik. 4
Ya
detik
gak.
paling.
Lek di silent aku gak anu.
Gila sih Egi, mainnya rapi banget sumpah.
Oi. Gimana? Aduh. Iya. Alah, pengen streaming.
Nyapa.
Heu. Kono obat gawe adekku.
Iki wis mari kok, sik. Engko jelaran pirang menit.
Cek leren kan?
Icik ngopi-ngopi pemain nih, santuy.
Gaspol. Kenapa? Oh iya kah? Abang aja nggak apa-apa. Rasido. Gawe Milo berarti.
Kopi lah kok Milo.
S4 is just chucking out these impetuses without a care in the world. That's 6 minutes in the game, something like that. 16 minutes in the game. We slowly progress a little bit forward.
Mau ndak 5 saya nonton loh, tapi hilang saya.
Oh no, it's 3 heroes. You'd think that I would be dead. Oh no.
Itu es kita tuh jadi buruk gara-gara ada ikan dalam situ, enggak lah. Es kita tuh. Es batu. Ada ikan di situ, gaya kotor lah. Ya tapi kan sama aja kotor enggak lah. Gawe es batu.
She's laughing. Unbelievable. S4 obviously magnificent performance on the hero, but you gotta give props to that EG draft.
I'm sure there's gonna be some people at home that are not too familiar with Enchantress that are like, did my computer just play things in slow motion?
Slow motion going on here. No,
What's wrong?
you're not buffering. You're operating at full speed, and so is EG.
Yeah, what a crazy game, Will. What do you make of that?
Oh, that game was, that was a stomp. That was like a stomp and a half too. It was just every opportunity they had to go on Thompson, they absolutely ruined him. I think he even got solo killed once, right?
Yeah,
in the mid lane.
so.
That's really what started that ball, and I mean they never let go. Sumail just kind of made his mark on this game.
They poked the beast.
Yeah, they did. And I was thinking, you look back to that, the second clip you showed, that was when Seb pretty much showed his blink. He got his 2 kills. If he somehow got Enchantress in that, because they were all 3 clumped up, but he was like 2 seconds too late. Honestly, it could have changed a lot of things, but the fact Enchantress ran away and you're not killing her. It really, you just could not kill her that game.
Well, this game was decided pretty fast, and I think, Will, it was you that said before the series that Thompson, he loses you the lane, but wins you. How did you say it? You said it way nicer.
Oh, I said he's probably the hero. He's probably the player that loses you. He loses his lane the most, but he's also the player that'll win you the game the most.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this time he only did one of the 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't even talked about, right, 9-0 and 10 on our TZ. It's a Terrorblade, right? He is just, for me, he's doing his thing, but he knew when to go and he knew when not to. They backdoor through a tier 3, even when Anna was cutting creeps. He just made all the right plays, and I mean, our TZ, I mean, everyone wants to win a TI, but this guy, right, has been favored to win so many TIs. You know it's in the back of his head, even.
Oh, the hunger is showing for sure. And I love that they ran up the aggressive trialing as well. You know, it's a little bit of the mind games. You want to go head to head. You don't want to avoid fights. Sometimes that is what you try to do, but this game, they wanted to take it. They fought hard, and they made sure that they got in the action early on, which was a little difficult for OG to answer, Tsunami.
This is a taste of OG's own medicine. This is what they like to do. Unless if it's a core IO, then oftentimes it will look like OG's losing it first, and they're like, oh, you know, obviously this core IO is not going to work out. And then dude gets the Aghanim Scepter, Dominator, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, that's how it works. But this time, it was just pedal to the metal from minute 0.
Yeah, and it was the tree, and I'm really surprised they put it on 5. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I was talking with Bogged as well, and we're just wondering, like, what does he do? It didn't feel like, you know, they always want to defend their towers, do their thing, and they really could not defend their towers at all.
They could not at all. I didn't realize I was
laughing at Grant?
No, I laugh at my own mistakes. That's the best way of doing it, and I hope that's what OG is doing as well. And actually, we know that that's what they're doing. Most of them.
Yeah.
Most.
You think? Even against those?
They have a professional esports psychologist.
That's true, but what if the psychologist saw this? He's like, oh my goodness, he
never
destroyed him. We gotta get out of here. No,
you already said they needed that. Maybe
Sifa.
Maybe, yeah. It was just, I mean, it's tough. It really is hard to talk about that game because it was just that one side. Crit played perfectly middle, Sumail as well. They just didn't kill our team. If you don't kill a Terrorblade, you're gonna lose the game. It's as simple as that.
Mantap, Le.
All right. You know what? I hope that OG is taking a break, taking a moment, you know, getting some time to reset. They are needing it, and I know a lot of you at home need it too. We have the perfect recipe for a reset. Hey Casey, hey Slack.
Hey, I'm really happy that you're not shoving me over.
Kira tuh lampu LED semua tuh belakangnya tuh.
I mean, I'll take any excuse I can to shove you, but I got too much excitement for the games on that last series, man. EG, everybody knows this team, right? Well, they think they know them. Actually, you might not know the greatest North American squad ever, and that's why they got a little peek in their backstories. Take a look at this piece.
Esports teams always have drama.
Virtus throw. Bulba, mantap Bulba. Ice.
For example, there's a
Siapa
lot
ini?
of talk this year about
Mancing
Esports
Sumail.
not being a real North American team.
Muda berbrewok Sumail.
That couldn't be further from the truth. Orders.
Howdy, y'all. Who's on Reddit on that 32? Yeah!
I mean, sure, we're both North American, but the other guys are way more North American than us, especially Crit.
And you're back in the final. I guess that's what it took. I guess that's just what it took.
Hey, sorry about that, your hoser. Hope you have fun in the grand finals, eh?
In a way, I think the boys are actually
Treat,
model
treat.
North Americans. They even have that classic NA salt.
Alright, listen up.
Cuma sudah kaya tapi nggak bikin bodinya ya dia kerempeng anjir.
I don't want to see no f***ing underlord middle.
Gila sih kantong matanya.
One more time, I swear to f***ing God, it's not
Kelihatan begadangnya terus cuy. Hadapin komputer.
In the end, we're just some North American boys trying to make our way into this year's international. Together, united, one team under Dota.
North America.
Wow, man, what a great North American squad representing America out here in Shanghai. Did you know that kind of NA spirit they had?
I had no idea that was quite the informative documentary you put together. Thank you.
Yes, indeed it was. But
Dim.
we have more actions to see today. We got an even better show because Sheeves and the boys, we got more Dota to be seeing.
We do indeed, and I cannot wait to see all the different scenarios used in all different kinds of clips and memes, because there is so much potential. Thank you for that.
We have some work to do. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I can't believe what we just watched, but I mean, you already knew that they were North Americans to the core.
Yeah, I did. You know, everyone on Reddit's gonna always argue with me, but you know, being the ambassador of NA, I'd like to think I knew these guys were all NA from the start, and yeah, I mean, Crit, Canadian, I knew that as well, I guess. I don't know.
What was the guns? He opened the door and it was already shooting at the ground.
Well, yeah, you gotta test some bullets out first.
He shot like 10 bullets out of
Ngeledek
a 6
S4
shot
ya.
Well,
revolver.
America already waits.
S4.
Well, don't worry.
Sure, the one thing that Tsunami looks at, 10 bullets.
That's right. That's
revolver.
Can we say
That is the only
that's a
thing
draft panel kind of
that
thing?
cannot be true.
The rest of it made
Surely.
sense, man. Logically, it all added up.
Yeah,
With the bullet thing, there was some continuity errors there.
That
I think.
missed it for me.
Yeah. What do you think? You're sneaking quietly there, Will. What are you thinking?
I don't know. It's just, I was rating like their acting.
Who
And,
was the best?
the best was probably Crit.
Wait, they were acting?
I think Fly was the best.
Really?
Yeah. His Captain America speech.
Oh, the worst by far was Sam.
I mean, there was no other side. No, I think he said orders.
Oh.
Because he was carrying burgers, not hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, but
Hors d'oeuvres are
He
filled
was saying
eggs,
hors
I
right?
think he was.
Hors d'oeuvres are filled eggs, aren't they?
Wait, is that a real
No,
thing?
hors
I
d'oeuvres
thought
are like
hors d'oeuvres were just
appetizers.
Yeah, they're appetizers.
finger food.
Yeah, and so obviously we Americans have burgers as an appetizer, and
Yeah.
burgers as a meal, and burgers for dessert.
I saw some fries in there too.
True.
Perfect.
All right, hey, let's talk about these two teams because they're about to be, well, at the moment, EG is about to be in the top 3 of TI. We saw them in the top 3 last year. Top 3 is not enough. The performance that they showed here in this first game, though, definitely worthy of more than top 3. That looked so dominant.
Yeah, it really did, and I think the biggest thing it's going to come down to the draft, because it felt like they got out-drafted from the beginning. I said some team's going to pick Earthspirit. I actually didn't expect it to be first pick. He just roamed on middle, he roamed bottom. He was actually in all 3 lanes. Like, he played perfectly, so shout out to Bulba. You know, we all like to clown on him, but he did his job that game.
And he's coached a team to TI championship before, which also was EG, by the way. And he might just do it again here, Tsunami.
Yeah, and the most important thing is getting this game 1 victory because OG have not been tested that much during this TI.
No,
During
they
the group stage, they didn't drop very many games. As they moved their way through the upper bracket, they have not dropped that many games. Being able to finally show that they bleed and show some vulnerability is a huge step for confidence for EG.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you look at the group stage, I believe they had 2 or 3 losses. I don't remember, but only one of them was truly serious to me. It was the Vici Gaming loss, and I definitely
the other
think
one was like a
EG
techies loss or something.
Yeah, exactly, and I think you have a lot to look at, because, like, okay, this is the one loss they truly had, and I'm sure they scoured all the replays, and, oh, it worked.
Well, can OG set.
Oh yeah, for sure they can. And they want a TI. You know they're a mentally tough team. I feel like if any team's gonna do it and they're able to like walk it off and have fun, it's gonna be OG. You saw No-Tail like spamming voice lines till the very end.
Spamming his face literally on mid lane.
Like, I think they're memeing it up too with like the faces.
Alright.
That's like the first step, by the way, towards reconciliation. Like memeing.
Well, let's see how well they meme in the upcoming game because teams are taking the stage once again. There you go. Arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder. They do look ready. They do look like they are reset and ready to go. Shake it off, go.
Yeah, you love Taylor Swift, don't you, Blitz?
I do.
Well, I do hope that EG is also relaxed as they are one game up. That definitely takes some pressure off. You know what also takes pressure off? A nice, relaxing massage.
Hi, how are you? Thompson! Hey, wake up! Wake up!
Yeah, hello. Are we done here?
I know I always ask this of players, but I am fascinated by whether or not you guys feel stressed. Because you do, this is what you do all the time.
Yeah, we take massages all the time.
No.
Yes.
The Dota playing.
And taking Dota isn't that difficult. Traveling, I hate.
Why do you hate traveling?
I don't know, I just stress about stupid things.
Like what?
Like losing my phone or interviews. It's stressful.
What can I do in interviews to make you feel less nervous?
I don't know. Players just sit home, playing Dota, and then suddenly they're in front of a camera. It's like, what the fuck is this?
But you're on camera while you play.
Yeah, but they're watching the game. They're watching us play. They're not watching us.
Yeah. What's the question you hate getting asked the most?
I don't have them.
Oh, really?
Sorry. Yes.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is the most likely person on your team to make a mistake?
That's unfair.
No.
That's a really shit question. I found it. It was easy.
How crucial is Anna to your roster? Because I know that you had to play without him for quite some time.
Yeah, we did. He's like my favorite player. Like I'm a big fan of his, and Anna understands me, and I understand Anna, and it wasn't the case with other players. So
Lihat komentar ya.
It's really nice.
Do you feel any extra pressure coming back as TI?
Komentar Faceless
What
point.
you're trying to say? No, not
Matanya
really.
Faceless point.
I mean, we had a pretty average year. We just barely made it to TI.
Right.
And we're so happy that we made it to TI, and
Screen itu dulu ah.
we'll see how we feel then. But right now, we're feeling good.
What are you gonna do after your Dota career ends someday?
Oh man, I'm gonna buy a house in Northern Finland.
Faceless point.
You're
Faceless
just gonna
point.
live a quiet life?
Yeah, that's the dream.
Fast forward 20 years. Ring, ring, ring!
Yeah.
You pick up the phone, and it's me.
Oh shit.
Well, there goes the answer to my next question. Thompson, thanks for doing this. I feel like I'm raising my hand to ask a question. Yoo-hoo, Thompson, over here.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how you're planning on beating all the other teams at TI9.
You know, you destroy their throne and then they lose. Easy.
You destroy the throne and then they lose, or then you win. That is the goal. It seems pretty simple. Can they do that here in game 2? Because if they don't, the they're gonna go to the lower bracket and haven't experienced that yet in a while. Let's find out what is going to happen in game 2 of EG OG. It is time for the draft.
G versus Evil Geniuses. Game 2.
This is where the next match is going to be determined. We're about to start the draft in game 2 here. EG versus OG. What are you guys expecting to see in this one?
I think for EG, follow the same formula. I really like the way that Sin mentioned it at the end of the cast, how he loved the way they set up their lanes and they played super aggressive throughout the game. I think that's definitely a key factor for them going into this next one versus OG, because that just looked super good, right? They just took over the whole game. They kept making those aggressive plays.
Or pick stronger lane heroes. I was a real question mark in the last pick in Booker against the Nina too. Like, and there's an Earth Spirit roaming. And the silence, they weren't that great too. The PA is pretty weak.
Oke, hero poolnya Sumel udah di-banned.
Looks like we have same ban so far, so this is always fun to see. Are they going to do
Miss
something
Io
different?
juga
Are they going to
di-banned.
stick with the same heroes? One thing I feel like I see if Enchantress does make it through is they pick heroes that actually can kill
Magnus
her.
loh, hero
They pick
poolnya si
magic
S4.
nukers, that kind of a thing, but OG did themselves no favors at all, as you know, showed in the last segment. They didn't have ways to kill her, and as a result, every other early movements just were completely counteracted and it made the stomp so much harder.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Fabi.
Dim?
Just pick some stronger lanes. I think Shadow
Dimas.
Demon was ignored, right? That was one hero that made it through the entire draft without being touched because they opened up with the Grimstroke, so EG didn't feel like they had to go for it. They wanted the Crystal Maiden, so yeah, SD, one of the few series that we actually see it just wasn't touched.
Now, it was AA banned last game. I don't believe it was.
I think they banned ET. Not
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
they
right.
banned ET.
So they're like having some. They're baiting the Enchantress pick, I think.
Now they're also making sure that they can get themselves ET too, right? They're like, EG, you have to ban it, otherwise we get Alchemist.
Yeah.
Right? They're switching the formula up a little bit. So they're forced to ban that out because of it. So now OG can get that edge
Enchantress.
himself. Yep.
I mean, it's definitely more of a comfort pick for them. It's something they've been picking consistently for Seb in the off lane, and it's putting the strong hero in their hands.
Yeah, and like I said in the first game,
Wow,
Ulter seems like the
siapnya
only
S4,
five that's really
mantep,
comfortable on
mantep.
the Enchantress.
And this right here already, you're talking about ways to kill
Kiranya
Enchantress,
Sumel
right?
sini.
Elder Titan, a decent amount of magic damage, also a big amplification. Mirana, high magic damage if you are able to get on top, and good combos.
And another thing that Mirana's been really effective at so far this tournament is just like stomping games with really effective rotations and good disable setups, basically. One disable into a 3 to 5 second stun, that's almost always going to be a killed hero. And as long as they can fill out the rest of their lineup with a lot of other stun setups, EG might be able to just stomp the lanes kind of similar to last game.
Just gonna go for their Earthshaker here, the way to disrupt like those type of combo plays. So surprised, yeah. Shadow Demon's just not gonna be touched, not even going for the save, which you do see a lot of times versus like the Mirana.
Yeah, it's very rare actually that I feel like Mirana gets picked well SD still in the pool because it is such a good counter there. But they let it through.
Yeah, it is a really good hero with the Enchantress. It covers the Enchantress weaknesses, which is the lack
Gila
of
sih Fly mati
damage.
satu
Yeah, Enchantress does
mati
have
satu
a lot
terus
of
dong.
damage, but it lacks
6-1,
knockdown and
2-1.
the big AoE control, which Earthshaker
Itu mati apa total dia make hero-nya?
Can also potentially interrupt the Elder Titan combos, possibly stunning Mirana at the right time could help a lot. Drop a fissure when she needs to throw her arrow, for example. Those kinds of things could be a solution as well.
It's really less likely, but I think it's pretty cool to see some Sumer Mirana too, because I know he's a beast on the hero.
Yeah, right. Both drafts are kind of flexible right now at this point. Like you said, OG, they could be playing the Enchantress. They could move it around if they want to choose to do so. The ET is probably locked as like a 5 position, but we have seen Crit also play it. So 4 5s, Mirana also
winless,
kind of
winless.
flexible. So
It's probably a 5 ET.
Tidak pakai Seeker, Chapnya Chapnya Enchantress
That's what they're
mestinya.
thinking as well too, right? Banning out that Sand King, taking out that easy setup, also that high magic damage hero.
AA dia AA di ban karena OP-nya pakai Enchantress.
Common Veil Builder, the amount of magic damage you're doing is massive, a lot more than even normal. So,
Which is Enchantress's weakness. Enchantress is really fragile to magical damage.
And it takes out a team fighter too, right? Like the Sand King provides quite a bit, so that's why they're looking to ban that one out.
Ember Spirit getting banned by Evil Geniuses, a very good hero for jumping around the team fight. Also, pretty possible to avoid things like arrow setups sometimes, because if you have even a tiny fraction of a second where you aren't stunned, you can dodge arrows, dodge other abilities. So, it would be a little bit of a headache for Elder Titan defending it. So.
Getting getting on top of these heroes can be pretty easy as an Ember Spirit too. Like Elder Titan, play a lot of the hero. You just get jumped on instantly. You get rooted in the middle of your stomp animation. It messes with you. Mirana, same thing. You get rooted. You can't leap the whole time. It's a long duration lockdown. Frustrating hero to play against for sure if you do have an ET or Mirana.
Kunkka, the next ban, very common setup hero with Mirana as well. We saw a lot of teams successfully use that combo.
RTZ posisinya. Oh, lihat komentarnya.
I wonder what kind of damage hero EG is going to play. I assume like S4 is going to play some AoE magical damage control hero, which can kill the Enchantress.
Like a tiny or something?
Langsung komen RTC semua. Dim nih mas.
Yeah, I think it's
Dim.
Tiny. I feel like Tiny is a bit
Dim.
single target as well.
What about Tidehunter? Tidehunter was like first phase ban in the Vici LGD series earlier today, but we haven't seen either of these guys touch it yet. You think something like that would be useful here?
Tide is pretty cool. It can like stop the Earthshaker from getting his combos off with the Ravage, but I assume like if they do pick Tide, they need more damage. I don't think it's enough damage.
What about like a typical like mid laner turned off laner, like a Lesh or a Pugna, or Lesh band of course, but
Ini ngemunculin gambarnya pakai apa ya?
Yeah, it was a very common opening for a lot of teams to actually go like ET Lesh because you amplify your damage so much. But they'll need something else instead.
I think EG, what about the the gyrocopter for EG if they want to go for that for
I was
RTC,
thinking
right?
gyrocopter,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't like the gyro versus Enchantress matchup. I think
Ya,
it can
spekternya Ana di ban.
If gyro can get on top of Enchantress, sure, but Enchantress like by nature is a good hurricane pipe fire. It can like shoot impetuses from very far. It can outrange the gyro, so sometimes it can go the other way around.
Yeah, I've seen kind of like, it looks like teams think the exact same way, right? We've seen some teams like they pick the gyro into the Enchantress, and other teams they pick the Enchantress versus the gyro. Just, yeah, it's fun to see those type of back and forth from teams. We have an Ogre.
Yeah, very high health, very high armor, tanky hero, can be a 3.
Potential for high magic damage.
Yeah, especially with ET's aura.
So the downside that the part that it doesn't fit of what you want in Febby is not that much AoE damage basically. So you can't push out lanes very well, but you can just
Kacamatanya Thompson tebel banget sih itu.
Not be harassed out of it and continue to pressure that way. That's one option for the hero. And then later on join the team fights.
Yeah, it's a natural pipe editor too, so Earthshaker is not gonna have as much impact.
How do you feel about that pick?
I was thinking Void for EG might have been good for the AoE control and especially with the ET. But yeah, OG picks Void. It's okay because Enchantress provides damage. Every time you have Void, you want damage in your chrono.
Tim?
I think Enchantress is the damage.
Dimas?
I feel like it might have been a bit of a steal pick, right?
Yeah,
maybe if EG was going to look for it, because it's, I mean, with ET and Mirana, it's amazing. So that does kind of look like they just kind of robbed that one away if EG was looking to go for that type of hero.
Yeah, because that's definitely one of the issues with the Mirana pick right now is that there just aren't a ton of arrow setups. Obviously, Stomp is amazing, but in the laning stage, it's going to be a little bit harder. Void also even good against that. If they're lacking disables, Ogre's got to get close range to land his stun. ET's got to land this obvious Stomp that Void can easily time walk. So right now, Mirana's not looking like the best core, actually.
Yeah, they might. I mean, they still could move it, right? Now they have Bloodlust as well. They're keeping themselves open to switching it up still on the side of EG.
That's true.
Like Febby was saying, right? Like Sumail, he loves playing as Mirana sometimes. And we have seen a couple for Miranas. We have seen a couple of them in the mid lane. From I know Vici played it a couple of times too.
Gyrocopter beneran sih.
Yeah, something that they need, some AoE, some magical damage.
Gyro feels a little bit iffy against Chronosphere plus Enchantress too, because I mean he traditionally does get a lot of health, and yes, maybe he'll buy Butterfly at some point, but getting Chronosphere and not having too many saves on the back line might be really scary for him.
He's my favorite pairing though with Elder Type. Favorite carry pairing. You're a mix.
Silan,
Not
coy.
just physical damage, you're very high magical
Mata
damage.
SL.
Really well, and it provides you extra team fight, which I
Mahat
think that
S.
they, the Ogre might have made them lack a little bit there.
Cek ngepick ya.
That's a combo that EG is very familiar with. We've been seeing it a couple of times in the group stages too, the Gyro ET.
Wih, mata Neti ini kuning
Tiny,
aja.
that looks like it's a very high
Nyorot-nyorot,
potential for top
mantap.
6 hero. He's been super dominant actually on the hero when I saw him playing it for the most part. Just being able to constantly run around and wreak havoc on the map. Especially versus the squishies.
Apa nih?
Wih,
Tini nih.
wih, enggak maksudnya ini loh. Rai-rai wong-wong anu. Saya ngepick iki. Tegang sekali oke kita ya.
It can be a cool new combo, the Void plus Tiny with Tiny.
Thompson ini kayak Yasir cuy.
It's really good with Void. It helps so much. I think Vanessa I
Ada
guess
tekangan jasir aku.
Chrono would come out, and then you do the tiny tree toss, you get in like 6, 7, 8 trees.
Yeah, it looked like a
slapping into
really
that guy.
good combo.
Was that the same thing that did Secret have that too with the void
Then
and the tiny? I think mid one rushed
aku
Ags.
Ranu
Yeah,
Kumbolo.
the Apps are still Chronosphere a few times.
Ranu
Apa dia?
Kumbolo kan
Probably-
DND sih.
Yeah, there's a lot
Ranu
of
Ranu
Kumbolo kan
Kumbolo
DND.
yang Semeru.
Chronospheres in those games.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, that's a good point. Because I remember him. He skipped the Echo Saber. He went Echo Saber after, but he went straight Ags, which was interesting to me. Because usually it's like you want your Echo because you apply the slow, but if you have something like that huge lockdown, you don't need the extra slow. You're gonna be having that big damage pump into it. So yeah, that's actually pretty neat.
I'm expecting EG to throw Gyro in the mid lane myself, just because Sumel's typically the guy that plays it on their team. I mean, if you do land an arrow mid, even if there isn't a setup, and sometimes there can be a homing missile, it's a good hero for crossing the river and potentially getting solo kills if the stun's long. I don't know if it's going to be super viable against Tiny, because Tiny's health is pretty high, but
I
could
feel
work.
like you won't get many last hits in that lane though. If you're mid versus a tiny.
Ana void top
You can use the
sentini.
missile to zone him every now
Jaraknya
and
sep,
then, but the base
sepe
damage advantage is
Enchantress.
pretty high. But still flexible, right? They still
Karek
can
hero
choose
nih
to move it
notel
around.
iki.
Depending on which
Hotel.
matchup they do want to have.
Aduh, notel.
Helikopter
One
iki
bright side is they could
Artisi
probably
Mirana
control maybe a
mungkin
little bit better with the Mirana.
Sumel sih harusnya Mirana nih.
And the Gyro's a lot faster, so running him down, maybe lower chance of Gyro dying. Last bans here, Bat Rider again being banned towards OG. They are kind of lacking their 5-position hero. And then OD being banned on
Aduh,
against
kata-
EG, which would have been
aku
another great hero for setting up Ares.
bingung
They
iki.
throw OD in the mid lane, especially against a melee like Tiny. Super easy to banish and get guaranteed arrows.
Nonton
So
deh
that would
awakmu
have been a pretty
play
easy way for Thompson to lose.
install Twitch.
Yeah, a lot of the Conquer OD bans.
Wah,
And there's some
oh
early
iya,
Mirana
di-
picks. It's like you kind of just have to cover
Seko
your
apa
base.
iso ya?
Bisa.
So what are they going to grab for their last hero? OG could play the
Twitch.tv.
Tiny as a 4. They could put the Enchantress on a 5. That could leave Thompson up
Twitch.tv.
to grabbing an entirely new hero here if they really want to. But
There's so many cool things that OG can do right now. They can put 5 enchantments.
Gue paling atas
with
dewe.
Tiny and like they got new 4 hero.
Iya
players,
Dota
Phoenix,
2
Suki,
TI
even if
sing
there's
EN sing
Umbrella,
English.
the other team, yeah, Void.
it feels, I think it sounds okay, but I just feel like they're lacking easy disables and gank stuff that isn't team fight, like ultimate base. It's like Chronosphere, maybe like Blink Earthshaker or Blink Tiny, but I feel like they need something reliable maybe.
And they're gonna go with Oracle.
It's okay.
I think it's a good fate seeding.
Raine.
There's a lot of magical damage.
Raine notel stres.
Right now.
Emang ngono Raine cok, ora stres. Betul emang ngono
Enggak.
kuwi.
Enggak maksudnya ya ancen Raine ngono tambah meneh iki.
Artisi lho, soante artisi.
Wah, arti di soate. Kurang ngudut, sumpah kurang ngudut. Padahal lo teammate lo deloan.
Ya kan kursinya tinggu pulba tinggu kotse ngepik. Dek santuy nguri. Untune ngopi ngudut. Senja.
Save from OG onto the Oracle deck, so they could have bursted the Void down before the team fight started.
Is it going to be strong enough to lane against an ogre though? Like if that's an offlane ogre, he's gonna have to slap that guy all.
Memang nggak mau.
They're just gonna go the Terrorblade again. It worked last time for them.
But now,
Loh,
Let's fly.
Gyrocopter Terrorblade Mirana. Oh Mirana support. Mirana offline. Berarti Miranane S4. Girone Sumel. TB-ne Artizi.
They should be able to combo him potentially.
And Enchantress can just chase down the TV and just take away the illusions, crippling his arm.
Yang Australia ke ya nek wong Cina ya ternyata ya.
Ya ono dong.
OG heroes. The reflections get bashes.
Sumpah Raine artisi kayak siap-siap bantai wong ya.
Rai santuy deh.
Enggak rai santuy, kata-kata bantai gue.
Alright, tell me how you're feeling about this draft.
Persiapan
and how would you rate
membantai.
compared to what you did in game 1?
I think first game was pretty fine, draft-wise.
Iku kowe anu di layarmu lagi ngopo?
So I'm feeling really confident.
Ini ngobrol podo bareng. Gue ngomongin kur delay sak detik.
I mean, we were ready for
Delay orang sak 1 sampai 5 detik lah. Sementara
the
iku.
game, so yeah, I just tell them to keep going, do our best, and yeah, we'll see.
Still confident, I love it. Best of luck, we'll talk to you soon. Bye, back to you guys.
And we really are looking for that third game.
Apa gambar apa gue belakangnya?
History from last TI, it was
Mbah, apa
semi-final
iku?
2 that these teams met up. Of course, then it was OG who took one.
Yesus iku. Yesus terus item.
Iya gitu.
Yesus terus item Dota.
There's a couple of things that can happen. EG could win this game, then they're 2-0. OG could win this game, then they're 1-1.
Wow.
And then for the third game, would you believe it, there's also two possible outcomes in that game. So that would be, you know, if you do like a
Iki dhek ngadeg walu nggo sih iki. Casternya sing kiri ngadeg. Top iwane top iwane
podo-podo ngadeg.
Ngadeg kira top iwane lungguh, Cuk.
Iya.
Ngangkat mata ke normali.
Loh, Notel kok?
Iya kan Notel kan support.
Iya.
TPRTZ, Giro Sumel, Eldere Fly paling nih nggak cerit. Sumpah Miranane S4 Oracle Notel, Topson Tini, Ana
Loh, Artezi ngepick terror blade kedua kali nih.
Iya.
Wah.
Gini di warke sengit sih iki.
Oh iya jelas.
Di Earth Split ambi Alderitane.
Masalahnya kan kalau misalnya
dot Girone ngebom dadadadadar. Mirana loncat.
Tapi so iku tergantung ini dhisik. Lek Ana misalnya ngulte ke dhisekan, bareng kono masih ono Elder Titan yo. Bubar sih.
Oh gini iki tergantung iku. Tergantung ambi pembukaan Ajikere. Ajikere buka api yo. Dadi.
Iya sih. Ono Sep versus Play.
Oke, ada depan.
Ditip.
Kecolong.
Aku po.
Kecolong anjir.
Nyapo ngene. ES apa ES? Arseker.
Cep.
Sep kok apa sih lagi macam iku terus.
Asal ndelok Tini ki lho nggowo godhonge malah dadi pedang anjir.
Iku pedang ah?
Iya pedang.
Oh, yaudah jadi pedang. Kayak HP ya? Ya kalau misalnya ada yang nonton mau give silahkan ya. Nanti tak kasih link Steamku.
Give apa, Cuk?
Kalau misalnya ada saya nonton.
Mau nek pitu anjir.
Iya makanya. Ya ntar kalau misalnya ada yang ya bagi penonton yang mau give aku ntar cari aja tartar saus, oke? Nggak berkombo. Tuman sekali di sini masih majang gambarnya si Notel.
Kowe ngerti mburine Notel gambar sapa iku? Fly apa Sep iku? Anak-anak sirah nongol kan mburine Notel iku.
Yo Fly sapa meneh?
Fly apa Sep iku, Cuk?
Fly.
Sep iku Sep, Cuk. Sep kacamata kok. Bukan antara Fly bisa Sep iku wis ana loro kuwi deh. Nek mite kena ketoke menang Sumel sih. Sumel nek mid gorong enek sing iso ngalahke tentang apa? Lesit tambi masalah gol. Oh, siapa Enchantress? Jerake berarti Ciker.
Mid. Kena stun. Oh, gak ada apa-apa.
Illusion.
It's a pretty unusual play for Elder Titans to block a camp like this. But he's just scared of the Enchantress pressure with the enchant spell, and for good reason. If Seb gets like a Centaur, there's play combos.
Sumel masih mencoba nyepam terus misalnya. Pirolek sih iki.
Pirang lek.
Piro match wes.
BO telu itu 1-0. Ya, first blood enggak. Jane magic pun ternyata. Magic stick kok magic pun. Jere kayak beruberan minut apa fly. Drama India.
Wah, ini bahaya. Merane elu.
Notale ke pick off ya kayak. Ana kan duwe skill siji. Oh enggak.
S4, here comes your level 2 fire blast out while up on top he does get away, but Snowtail stunned up into the tree line.
Notelnya mati sih kan, notelnya mati.
Mati.
Pick off, jelas ke pick off notelnya mau.
This guy is not chill.
S4 Ryan serius anjir.
Oke kalah sih.
Ya iyalah EG bleed blue di darah aku. Bleed blue. Kowe iki liquid udah oke anjing.
Oke.
Dukungnya sak tim ae. Nek tim dukungan wis kalah lagi pindah-pindah.
Liket terus kalah.
Urung.
Lower bracket kan mlepune?
Iya.
Mesake. Aku curiga iki sing menang iki tim Cina sing baru loh, RNG.
Tidak semudah itu, Bos. Lower bracket isinya susah-susah, Bos.
Yo, tergantung sih masalahnya. Aku dulu RNG maju terus.
Iya, maksudnya enak liquid, enak secret.
Gede pedang tini nih.
Enak VG gaming.
Midnya. Kalah cu.
Mati sih kita sini. Mati nggak? Oh enggak.
Enggak tausan enggak bakal mati.
Nyerangnya yang anu. Nyerangnya towernya yang Sumer, tak yang creep anjir. Nyerangnya yang creep aja iso nguber mu Sumer. Mati sih. Oh enggak.
Enggak. Ya terus. Ruak.
He very clearly placed the no-tail flag. So I was staring him in the eyes when he died.
Tiap mata ya.
Get in their minds, that's what OG likes to do.
Yeah, that's one thing you can't mute. You can't remove the flags.
Duel. Dur.
Giving S4 something to think about, but S4 has got 900 HP. You're not getting through this ogre.
It purges bloodlust though. It's a
Kira-kira si Notel karo Valadi iki anu kayak?
Mbok ngurus apa?
Iki musuhan kayak?
Paling ya IC.
Sake.
Apa masake? Malah lumayan anjir. Enak entertainment itu tak. Enak entertaining. Drama itu Pak, drama Notel ambil play. Mantep Arone.
Tebul.
Anjing dijak tos dong.
Waduh. Ayo sep. Kan oge di hati. Waduh, delokan Rick. Oke di hati Mas Bro. Ayo push terus. Meneh. Delokan Rick.
Santuy.
No.
Lo.
Anak nafsu.
He's getting good farm though on the void now. The start was a bit tough. He got pressured, but no-tail brought extra regen. Crit was roaming a little bit on the Mirana, which gave Ana more space, and now they might even kill S4 here.
Ya terus. Aduh kena heal gara-gara.
Ya anjir BC metu dong 2 kali mana?
Mulai kacau ya kita.
So this dynamic is really interesting because the Enchantress will not be chasing him, but the Tiny is one of those heroes that can quickly push in the mid lane and start
the next level play
for the enemy jungle, and he can solo kill Terrorblade this early on. Terrorblade has no health.
He's also got no net worth. Just to throw up the net worth graph, you see him. He's fourth from the bottom, not even 2,000 to this.
Padahal anak-anak yang pero sana tadi.
Has more net worth on the support Jirax.
Loro.
Ay loro. Jadi mood case. Ya mau jangan lupa di subscribe yo.
There's nobody going to take it right now.
And
RTZ
gonna send the illusion to deny it.
Yeah, and he sent his hero into the other
Moro-moro
side.
rame mau 10 pitu ya pitu ding.
Get smoked out. Oh, if he dies again. This is so awkward.
Kayak menghilang ditelan bumi.
They just follow the illusion.
Aku melepuh mau 5.
He needs space, he needs time, and Thompson doesn't want to give him anything. They leave an observe ward back behind the tier 2 tower. G-Rex is waiting on the hill. RTZ be set upon on all sides.
Ini lagi tahan artis ini. Gak dikai farming artis ini. Wow. Niatnya Arab ngegeng malah mati dewe CP. Artis ini nggak iso farm. Nggak iso farm artis ini.
Belajar dari kesalahan. Iya, ES-ku.
Tidak semudah itu. Tidak semudah itu. Ya, kena.
Ya, kena.
Anane. Thompsonnya muter-muter sih. Thompsonnya anggota ini muter-muter sih deh.
Yo, kudu roaming. Dikei gambar men. Ngeselin.
Maneh.
Tepung. Aduh, digeng anu nih. Oke, aduh Thompson. Terus
OG are playing really good Dota right now. And now the runes as well. They have the perfect read on what they need to do in the game with this Tiny. I think Thompson is having huge game impact right now. Even if he doesn't kill RTZ.
Artis ini gak iso farming plus anjir. Duitnya lo ngisor dhewe.
Lemah ya. Auto lemah. Tapi tergantung sih, like misalnya kan
RTZ tetap bisa farming deh nek ono kuwi tekan. Mentalnya kuat deh RTZ.
Deloan mid game. Iki wis mid game iki. Deloan anu rodo awal-awal red game. Lah misalnya awal-awal late game teh. Oh yo. Tuang. Gak kena.
Gila.
Gak kena farming dong RTZ. Terus
mati mana?
Ini nih mantap jiwa.
Sumele gurung main. Artis ini ketahan.
Karena run jadi si Kiro anu nih. Kiro nih apa sih itemnya? Sian?
Mbah, di sepatuan.
Kiro.
Mati sih Thompson-nya.
Mati Thompson. That's a lot of gold.
Lumayan nambahin duitnya Sumel.
600 gold and now he's top net worth. And they're going to immediately smoke again. OG have no vision here, so they don't know this is happening. This is not the easiest smoke.
Oh, dia ngincer Ana.
If they want to cross the entire map, maybe it will be predicted. Okay, the top rune, Invis rune, they're not going to grab this.
I think they're looking for Ana, but Jirax actually broke the smoke. He's already TPing over towards the shrine. He understands that something shady is happening.
Jirax saw the rune get taken here.
Ana mundur Ana. Kena tapi.
Wah, kanggo. Warone mantep. Disable kabeh guys, gak iso gerak nih sekali kena combo nih.
Wah seru tapi yo kena akhir-akhir barang.
Probably felt he was safe for having the observe ward in the lane, but man, as you said, like they would smoke up from the bottom lane and not just run directly at him.
And that space for RTZ. They've re-established some control in this top area, so Terrorblade gets to play a little bit now. He's still way behind par, of course, on this hero, but slowly recovering. And OG, they're going to keep up the pressure. They will keep playing fast. They have the same read that playing this slow and letting EG get space is not the way to go.
Mantap Mirana nih. Maju meneh. Ayo lur.
Harus splitin, dia harus splitin, nggak kebuka. Mantap anjir, aduh ke heal.
Sumai rempek, Sumail.
Oke, artisnya metu lumayan bisa nyolong duit. Gurung sepatu ya artis ini ya? Sepatu urung sih.
Bos sih. Oleh itemnya Westrum tapi anu Drone of Endurance si anu nih. Si Kiro nih.
Ramping up. A lot of the times you would like your Void to at least use the chrono when it's off cooldown. Then you can go back.
Artisnya nggak dadi tapi Sumailnya dadi.
Iya, Sumailnya dadi.
Nah, harus berarti buka mati sih. Ini artis ini free farm. Itu beri Ana.
Iya, mantap Krono nih. Loh.
Wah, trimen Krono.
Loh, ngincar siapa cuy?
Sumailnya, wah, sampai mati wes. Nah, nggak mati, anjing nggak mati. Siapa tuh? Mantep. Anjir, Sumailnya free banget cuk. Sumailnya free banget sumpah.
Sumail mantap free hitnya.
Mundur. Artis ini free loh. Artis ini free.
Iya, artis ini
kesempatan enggak enak sih bisa nahan artis sih. Lah moro-moro berarti ndur dhewe artis sih kok. Oke, dikejar Thompson. Oke, moro-moro nomor 4 artis sih netboard deh. Oke, sekali artis bebas langsung munggah anjing. Winnya 67% yang EG cok ya, tapi tergantung kok kayak piye wae. Amane EG ya blunder ya mbok. Tapi Sumailnya gak ada obat anjing. Sumpah lo mau krono ya krono. Wes trimen krono. Tapi nembure nek cerit. Dadi bingung anjir oke nih.
Iya. Lek menurutku mau lek misalnya anak fokus karo trimen dek anu sing dek krono kuwi. Gak apa-apa sih, yang penting ke damage.
Iya masalah kan enek apa senengmu enek S4 barang S4 enek enchantress wangi hit. Saya malah dijarke iki ning wong jero krono.
Sitting back is not the play right now still.
But it still feels like he's waiting for Ana to be ready. Like, yeah, you gotta be fighting, you gotta be looking for kills, but how long until Ana will actually come into these fights? How long until they look for the combination arrow? Thompson's in the trees, he's fine.
Well, got rid of the siege creep, just saving some HP on the tower.
Thompson's bling.
T-Rex is gonna get his blink dagger on bottom lane as well.
They want to kill Sumail. He's such a huge kill. He's 7-0. They know this kill streak is extremely valuable, and he's gonna
pick mill.
Play for it.
Feel confident.
You've got crit right behind Ana. Moonlight Shadow instantly burned. The second
Aduh, Mirana. Gak kena dong.
Weh.
Gak kena dong.
Didn't you see him blink? Oh, he thought he quelling. Well, he doesn't have a quelling blink. Oh, I don't know what that was.
Kok wekmu wis dhisik ya?
Dua dhisik. Aduh, perbaiki aimmu nak. Ayo Mirana, aimnya mana?
S4 wis midas urung S4. Urung. Mantep, sumpah.
Waduh, diincar tim ini.
Arone mau penyelamat anjing, Arone cerit.
Mantep, bersekre. Maju nih. War sawet di. Maju nih, iya langsung stun. Tosan.
Wes dibuang yang kocok. Salah tos. Greedy. Salah. Blunder parah. Iya, Chrono-nya gur siji.
Gak apa-apa los, yang penting nge-kill.
Entuk gur ogre.
Gak apa-apa los, yang penting nge-kill.
Oh, there's spellcasting. They can't be happy with that. OG. Thompson blinks and tries to get the toss on Gyro, doesn't get it. Second attempt, he tosses out the shaker.
Masih free hit di sini. Teror BT masih free hit.
Free farm goblok.
Farming.
Free hit.
Yo, dia kan anu free
Ya,
farm
fly
bareng.
mati maneh.
Thompson is on rampage, pemirsa. Save terus dia. Maju terus.
Kayak gorila anjing lakutin ini.
Iki kan anu sing level piro?
300.
Iki 300 ya.
Iya. Dek gor eco slime sak wong tok ge dibalem. Yang buri.
Salah banget mau anu nih. Enggak tahu sih.
He is still gaining in this game, and Samael staying alive is really big for them. He's such a valuable kill. They get the ogre. It's something.
Sumbel Korotezi maju. Ya Radian.
Actually lower net worth than his Mirana now. S4 still
Ngincar Oracle.
for 20-minute Midas.
They're so close they can smell it. Samael wants the kill on bottom lane. It was 9 time.
Waduh, di geng.
The protection is there, and he'll have to use his own ultimate, the false promise, trying to escape from this illusion. He's not getting the time to actually heal up in the tree line.
Cik kesetun anjir.
Will be fine anyway. Yeah.
Masih selamat ternyata.
Enggak ketok ya bang kono ya? Oh iya.
Iya, enggak ketok. Padahal anak uwit. Waduh, ono Mirana ndak kono dong.
Back. Sepe kena. Mantep.
Send a lot of defensive heroes here to keep Shaker safe.
Sagani manjir.
But that's about all to come out from that.
This has to be the slowest Midas for an ogre I've seen.
It's very slow. Oh, RTZ, this will be a huge kill for Thompson.
He would love it. Avalanche.
Sander. Mati sih. Ngertiin duwe Sander dinekatke ambek Thompson. Molo RTZ yo menit 20 kowe ngerti item. Anjir erone sumpah. Rotos iki, rotos sih. Gila. Erone anjir. Erone sumpah mantap anjing. Lo last game yo RTZ menit 20 itemnya wis butterfly ambi manta. Menit 20 lho, Cuk. Sepatu, berat band loro, manta, butterfly. Edan gua. Oke, saiki delokan network RTZ nomor 3.
Nomor 3. Mau gara-gara nge-kill Thompson mau langsung muka. Aduh.
Wis fly. Sasu fly. Narutel. Narutel Sasu fly.
Narutel.
I don't think it should be looking for fights with time dilation and only that and the time walk, but yeah, his team needs him right now.
Meanwhile, EG continues to farm. Samael's got Aghanim Scepter. The Maelstrom's coming out in the courier. A full BKB has now arrived for the Terrorblade. Seb trying to go on to S4. That hand of Myers, well, at least he got it off before he died, but S4's down once again. Moonlion Shadow from EG did not arrive in time. And Thompson just once more, walking up blindly uphill.
Mati sih Thompson, mati iki. Nek enggak ngebring deh.
Gak.
Mati.
Gak. Sudah saya bilang tidak. Kon deloken kon.
Artisnya mati.
Artisnya mati pasan.
Chrono-nya mantep sih.
Sudah saya bilang tidak akan mati.
Nek mau enggak nek Chrono mati mau. Wong loro.
Mati, kabeh mati.
Lorone oke mau.
and Seb ends the streak of the gyro, getting 800 gold,
2000
closing in on his
perbedaan
BKB.
network.
And Arteezy had BKB there, he just didn't get it off.
Yep.
He got surprised by the stuns, got blown up.
BKB di sini. Dia pilih BKB di sini.
Currently is enough. Later on it will be harder, but for now it gets the job done.
Probably thought he had the full advantage, and this is danger zone for EG. The items will start to roll in. He said, like, you look towards the BKB for the Enchantress, but I'm looking towards the Aghanim Scepter of Thompson. What happens when this Chrono starts to be amplified more than just Anand's Mjolnir attack? He's going for his own BKB too.
Cus, melucu anu nih. Udah selesai.
Jirax will get a 4-star. Nortel is looking for earn charges. Next items.
Oh, mulai. Eke mulai maju. Guys, smoke.
No Echo. This is the time to take a good
Oh,
break.
maju Rosan.
As well. They might just force Rose.
Maju Rosan. Wah, aduh, kok gak aru sih?
Enggak, masalahnya enggak kedetek mau. Kan dia nggak smoke.
Iya. Waduh. Rasain roh dong. Sumel sing itu.
Alright, OG, you've got a good team fight with your ultimates. Now we're gonna get something for free. And I think OG, if they knew that this Roche was happening, I don't even know if they would have come there. Like, that fight is extremely hard to take. You're fighting against Elder Titan in the pit. There's a Mirana that can arrow you from all angles, and you don't have your big spells to kill the Terrorblade with.
So now EG have to smoke and go again. That's kind of like their choice. I'm not seeing a smoke on anyone from EG.
I think they want to chill until Terrorblade has meta again. Oh, Terrorblade's getting jumped.
That's not what they want. Have and the arrow flies forward. It does actually control.
Waduh. Sander yang mata. Apa mah?
Anjir. Oh, memang selamat.
Terrorblade couldn't rejoin, and I think OG, all things considered there, with the kill failing to begin with, getting Sunter off on the Terrorblade, they'll take that 1-for-1 trade. That could have got way worse.
And still having Echo, still having Chrono, and the arrow. Of the Jirax. He's ready to jump.
Iya, Ana mati double kill.
Jarak.
And that time there was no Oracle save. Didn't have the false promise, it was on cooldown. And Ana farmed up aggressively and got punished. EG are fast. They're really quick to exploit.
Semua lesuane anjing mangan permen karet, Cuk. Iku mangan happy den iku. Biar nafas segar.
Bubblegum ya. Kayak bubblegum.
Happy den, Cuk.
Bubblegum saja lebih enak.
Happy den ya bubblegum anjing.
Gak beda-beda.
Bubblegum kan permen karet.
Bubblegum kuwi lho yang warna-warni.
Ngomongnya sugus anjing. Apa sugus apa jenenge? Big Bubble.
Sugusnya bubblegum. Oh ya Big Bubble. Lali ya.
Wes.
Anjing
anaknya santai ya.
I've seen that look on someone's face before. It's the oh fuck face.
Didn't seem to give that many Fs.
No.
Like we'll just get back to it again, right? Like, hey, next combo. That's the way to go.
OG's spirit has been seemingly unbreakable. But if this continues, they might lose a series 2-0, and then we'll see how unbreakable it will be in the long bracket. But game,
Eke gak sing blink dagger ya, gue open. Mati sih pesannya. Nah, wis.
Mati.
Combo full combo. Ora iso gerak. Nah. Nek kombone EG mlaku ngene iki anjing. Disabler kabeh masalah EG. Gur artisine tok sing gak disabler. Si Giron 2 skill loro, ambil ulti. Elder Titan setune nek loro, ulti ambil apa iku sing golem mlaku-mlaku iku. Ogre pamane, iya nek Ogre pamane Aghanim ya loro stune. Mirana skill loro. Sedangkan OG enek Thompson ambil jarak tok. Oracle yang ngikut sih Oracle. Di dinet dong. Wow. What the fuck? Anjay Sumel. Dek foto nutupi raine. Awake ndelok apa?
Delok kuwi. Delok jeneng hero nih.
Delok jenggote.
The tiny tree throw, the agility armor still adds up. And he will go over the Scotty. Favors the... Feels like its overall tankiness. I feel like it's comparable in this game. I think a Scotty and a Butterfly will give roughly... Maybe the Butter will even give him more health against these heroes. And Treads switch onto Strength. He will have about 2.2k health when the Butterfly arrives later.
You could normally say, like, hey, why not both? But if OG get one good fight, he may not have that option for the second.
It's true. OG's line... OG are absolutely not out of it yet. It's not like this game is over.
You got Tiny beating the crap out of a tier 2 towers. No one's here from EG to fight this. Anna will come in to help out as well. With the BKB completed, the combo is up from OG. EG does have to give it some level of respect.
The thing OG needs to make sure of is that they find a way of combining their Shaker and Void.
Oke, 67%. 77 malah yang EG anjing.
Shaker wants to blink Echo and stun lockdown people. Void wants to blink Chrono or jump in Chrono and do the same thing. But they can't do it on top of each other. It needs to be delayed. And if they get the idea at the same time, it can be a disaster. If they layer it...
Mana ya Maboy RTZ.
Gotta pay good attention to how the fight start off.
Padahal Miranane gawe item support loh. Damage-nya loro anjir. Apa nang gawe item damage, Cuk?
Celone Mirana.
Melu-melu item damage ya. S4 apa ya itemnya?
This is bread and butter for Terrorblades. And Anna, well, maybe yes to Chrono to actually save it. The fish.
Waduh. Untung enak iku.
Langsung Chrono.
Back.
Wow. Mate kon.
Walah, IGC wis ke reclaim ya.
Mate kon.
Kombone anjir.
Ini oke.
Kok ketok anane? Oh, anane. Explore.
Oke.
Wow.
Kena dong.
WH.
Masa WH? Anda bercanda. Tidak mungkin.
Wow. Kita
kena cuk.
Ketok Amit Thompson mati. Wih. Strike mid sih.
Hapus.
Dua santai. Dua BIP kok. Enggak di buyback. Nahan buyback ya.
And they're going to be rewarded handsomely. They get a full lane of racks from this, it looks like.
It looks like it.
And then they can just back off, reset, buy their items. No, they're not going to complete the racks. This might be defendable.
Jirax just buys a little bit of space. Blink forward, S4 going on to Jirax.
Makanya IGC si Sumel pas banget ke reclaim anjing.
They didn't stop the siege creep from attacking. So S4 went for the aggressive stun.
Look at the money as well. MKB got completed already. Do you still go RTZ in for the
MKB, PKB dong lengkap.
I don't think he's seen it though. Like in the quick buy, he still has Butterfly. Is he gonna buy the Eagle Song as he walks past? Yes, he is.
Okay.
So they didn't get the information on Anna.
He doesn't have buyback now. That's bold.
They need to keep these lanes pushed out and buy RTZ the time to farm.
Look at the swing and win expectancy we've just had on that XP graph over the last 5 minutes. OG have swung this game by almost 50%, from EG having about almost 80, so now OG have about 60.
So all these combinations starting to arrive for OG gives you confidence going into the team fights as long as they're off cooldown.
Wah, pindahnya oke ini.
5842. He is just being everywhere. He feels sacrificial, but he's never properly sacrificed. He's able to live, chain stun perfectly. Scouting arrow won't find anybody. Actually, let's see for a moment, no tell.
That's a big thing about this combo from OG when you said that, like, he has all these good chain stuns. They don't have a save on in EG EG's lineup. OG, they have the Oracle ulti to save people that get in trouble. EG, however, if Arteezy gets caught Inferno, the only save that they have for him is trying to stomp some
Oracle Fear on anjing.
but you're not stomping this BKB Void, you're not stomping this
Penistaan
BKB
lu.
Edge, so who are you gonna stop? Like,
No.
these are the guys killing him right now.
Tidak ada penistaan dalam Dota.
Hurricane plank totally done on the Enchantress. EG, they're smoking up to move out. This could just be a ward mission. They do have two of them on fly. They need to get planted as we look towards the Roshan counter. He will respawn in 30 seconds. Ana is already having a peak time walking into the pit. Smoke wall breaks down. But it's the observer ward behind them that's giving the information for OG. Up on the hillside.
Smoke.
Oh, the observer and sentries both being planted at the same time. Jump in! Ooh, Ana! He was baiting out the Moonlight Shadow. He started the Chronosphere, but then he brings the arms
berani
back
sekali.
in. Fly under the observer and sentry. He gets out of range of the sentry, however. And Jirax, that probably wasn't the order he meant to do that in. But now he can see Fly, but he won't go it. Remember, Roshan's the target. They can't expend these huge abilities on anything other than EG heroes.
Really nice dodge from EG. I think Ana's smoke got broken by the Ogre, I think it was, and he blinked away instantly, and Ana tried to chase and find something, but couldn't get it, so not fruitful there from OG, but they get control of the area, which also has value. With Roshan up, if EG want to try to get there, they have
Aduh, Roshannya gak ada smoke
they have the smokes ready, they have plenty of them, in fact, 3 of them on fly.
But there's so much damage on Ana, they're going to get through it before EG will arrive. Having both MKB and the Mjolnir, Seb's helping him out by tanking it through, so they're not taking any damage back.
Perfect position from Thompson. He's going to break smoke here.
Wah, perang dari Roshan. Mantap. Iki. Mari ke perang, Rik.
Penentuan sih, tapi cek duwe buyback sih. Oh, artisane gak duwe. Kira-kira tok.
So this tree toss just this volley. It's on Federer level right now.
And now you've got to be really, really careful as EG. The push will be coming eventually. I think a lot of pressure right now is on Fly's shoulders. Hit a good good stomp, get a good splitter off. They will need every bit of damage they can get.
They're buying up. I'm wondering if the courier can make the track, and if Samuel won't expend the money, he can buy a Satanic right now.
EKB on Ogre. This is very unusual build from S4. But he feels like if he isn't getting chain stunned, can perhaps provide like a pseudo save.
Oh, you're not
by
going
just going in and stunning people.
There are actually any of their auras. This could be one of the few games that we don't see. Even if Vlad's picked up, like, there's nothing from EG.
And that's bad news for Terribly. He loves to have Vlads in his team.
The best thing is a Ring of Basilicus. That's it.
Crit prioritizing getting a solo crest.
Oke. Oke, mutannya kompak banget kafe ya.
Ya apa?
Ya Allah, oke loh. Dalam fotonya.
Iya. Fotonya notar kabeh.
Iya.
There's still a bounty rune up here.
36 and a half minutes in, Crit's going to show himself, and Jirax is instantly going to jump. If he feels it's real, and he feels it strongly, the Fizz is done, a quick lethal wave.
Mana? Ke heal. Oh, enggak ke heal ding.
Waduh Mirana nih. Waduh Mirana. Aduh hilang.
Ngebut iki. Wanjing. Oh, deegem. Deegem.
Crit was scared he was going to get caught. Jirax with the gem.
Ya ibu temen nih. Pas saya kira anu duluan gue saya.
Sending up these two heroes here, expecting that somebody will go and push the lane out, and they are right.
EG just trapped in the base for now. OG looking for the killer blow. Nothing but illusions to push out the lanes. Tiny trying to find trees to work with. All Ana needs to do is get that nice Chronosphere with Thompson on the tree line. Ana, multicast is arriving from S4. And Ana starts to drop low, can't really time walk off a lot of that damage, but hey, Seb is there to attend to his wounds. The real mercy. Wrong game.
Yep. I agree.
Tier 3 tower's being beaten down. Here we go again. Long stun on the arrow. Ana, remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. But it's the low cooldown abilities. Fly getting smacked in the ball.
Wanjir. Mati Fly ini.
Oh,
Dibalangi Thompson.
Mantap. Gak terima langsung buyback ya.
Anak-anak jangan duwe Aegis. Rasa gerak artisi buyback enek. Artisane gak buyback ya, buyback. Jiji sih ini.
Dar.
Oracle sih gilani, kudune Oracle mati sik nih. Min 4000.
They didn't take the racks though. The melee racks dropped to 200. Is now regenning up.
But that was a really expensive build. They had to buy back their terribly gyro and Elder Titan just to defend. They didn't even get a good fight out of it. They killed the Oracle.
Yeah, that was it.
It's like the worst trade in the history of trade deals, maybe ever. That's really bad.
Someone get them a new negotiator.
Yeah, OG are feeling very comfortable right now in this game. And the primary problem is that Arteezy actually, they don't have a really good frontliner, right? You want somebody that goes in first, starts the fight so that Arteezy and Sumail don't get targeted, but the only guy you can really do it with is Ogre. But he's not tanky enough to feel like he can do it. If he blinks BKBs and goes in, he's just gonna get focused. And there's the damage with the tree volley. Jesus Christ.
Same one that killed Fly. This one almost kills S4. He'd be dreaming of having that plus 40 straight. He's a quarter of a level away from it.
S4 cuk, fly itu.
Oh iya ding.
Just seems to get stronger and stronger from OG. Aegis will be
Ya Aegis reclaim.
But now Void has a Lincoln Spear as well. And he's going for an Aghanim Scepter build on the Void. As many chronos as they can get every minute.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Lincoln's popped.
Mantap.
Where's the opening?
Pas Lincoln ya.
Because there's no metamorphosis. So they feel like EG can't take this fight. So far they're right. They even have the save.
EG's going to smoke up, however. But what do they do? You want to ramp around the back? Smoke's already breaking on Sumail. Seb's the one on the front line. He's got BKB. He knows he can just be that attractor. Who wants to come in from EG? The melee barracks doesn't really stand a chance. Another sleep. This one's over on faces Void. Ogre jumping into the back lines. Anna instantly jumps back out to help his teammates. The BKB Ogre. It was a good distraction, but EG, what can they really get out of it? A call down on top of the ramp. Seb moves forward, but here comes Anna going on top of Arteezy.
Fly-nya matinya apa? Dibalangi Thompson mana?
Tuh.
Triman Chrono.
Kena meneh dong. Triple alah. Kok ngelek sih?
Duh, anak mati. Enggak, Janet Thompson.
Enggak, anak enggak mati. Triple dong.
Di Mega sih. Wah, anak mati. Ditembak. Kena impetus save deh. Jiji sih. Jiji san. Sumeler nembak nggak iso anjir. Kena skillnya Enchantress.
Wah, mantap.
What a great game from OG. It looked relatively grim at one point. We were starting to consider if they were going to falter in this game, but they came online with their Void. They joined the team fights. They got a couple of really good ones. I think in this game compared to game 1,
Sumel mesti metu ngarep pertama dewe deh tepuk tangan Sumel.
Iku kesel ya.
Nutelmu game pertama kalah lesu, saiki game keloro, menang langsung dalam mendem Aqua.
Notel even just stops for a moment, looking back. It's like, come on, man, everybody together. Let's walk out of here. We're good.
The biggest difference between these two teams in this game, with draft-wise, there's obviously many differences, but one of the really big things with the save. Notel has a huge impact in this game with this Oracle save. EG, they couldn't match it.
Well, let's see who can save it out.
Aduh. Last game ya?
Iya.
Last game nonton apa? Last game sports sih.
Wah, sisa gimana?
We're gonna break down the game a little bit. Grant, I want to go start with you because you watched your boys play and they didn't cut it this time around.
No, they didn't. It was an insanely good draft from OG. As he said, right, if you last pick your 5, it better have a huge impact, and it did. Save after save. Tops and middle played an extraordinary game. I mean, Sumail did. Both middle players were probably some of the best players that game, but Thompson, he ran around, made a ton of space. Arteezy's life was hell for like 15 to 20 minutes. He had absolutely no impact.
It was a tough game for him for sure. It looked great though. What do you got? What do you got for us tonight? Why are you pointing to these stats? What do you see here that you find worth pointing at?
Thompson's KDA ratio, 13-4-15. This man participated nearly in every single engagement. That last toss into the chronosphere, and there's something very specific that you mentioned, Grant, that Arteezy's life was hell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly why it was hell. Gentlemen, what do you know about vision? Blitz?
It's pretty important.
It's pretty important. That is correct. Tell me what exactly this thing is.
That's a ward.
That's a ward. That's an observer ward, and they last for a great deal of time. So, they get placed at some point in time. You move on with your life. But Thompson always takes advantage of these situations. He sees Arteezy farming the jungle. He wants to make sure that this is never a comfortable situation for him. Kills him easy. That ward, everybody gets one. Can you get 2 with the same ward? Let me tell you something. You can. As we see here, it is yet again the same ward. And Arteezy is yet again farming the same area. This camp, it's all the same to Thompson. He just wants kills. He's gonna toss in Jerax. You'd think he'd have an Aghanim Scepter. No, it's only 10 minutes into the game. That was just a tiny toss. So much vision control here, and Thompson just continues dominating the entire map. You see here, Mirana has nowhere left to go. She can't go north, she can't go east. Gets a toss in her face, and he's still not done. Sees Fly cruising around the mid lane. He's just gonna keep on prowl. I don't even know what you would call that walk cycle from Thompson. Perfect fissure block from Jerax. Fly's cornered like a rat. Down he goes.
I know that a lot of people talk about farming patterns. This TI. This is more like kill patterns.
Systematic.
Systematic slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, as he said, the first time Arteezy does that ward, you're like, all right, the fact that no one went out and deboarded it, like, you had to know there's a ward.
Duluan Tismur
a
juga.
little bit of a miss.
Hah?
2 deaths on a TD.
Duluan Tismur blackout gak?
Yeah, that's crazy actually. And we talked about
Apa cuk?
OG and Coop.
Hilang gak kabarnya?
Gambar apa?
Kabar tuh sih.
Macet mau, ya wis mlaku.
Aku cek macet.
Wis mlaku ya iki.
Lagi
Games are never really that clean. Like, they're a little bit clowny because they're willing to fight you on any terms. Like, as soon as they hit their item timings, I feel like this team is like, it's go time. We're just gonna engage non-stop. So sometimes it's gonna look a little bit awkward like we saw, but when it goes well, it goes really well.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to like the team fight, right? One side had a Void and an Earthshaker. The other side, like, what's your biggest team fight? You have a TB, a Mirana, an Ogre. You don't have these end-all, be-all spells. So eventually, if they hit those spells, you're gonna lose because you're all single target.
Yep, you are indeed. Now we have a little bit of time before we get this third game going, which means I can finally get to ask Blitz the question. What was the story?
Oh, okay.
Wait, what story?
He's been saying that he had a story, and we didn't have time on the first panel, we didn't have time on the second panel, and now finally, this is a hype building for me. What is the story?
All right, so we're at ESL Birmingham.
This year, last year?
Last year. And I heard rumblings that they were gonna get. I didn't know about Fly, but I heard about S4. That was like the first thing that happened. So, of course, OG did pretty terrible at the tournament, and I went up to Seb at the end of the tournament, and I was like I thought he knew about the kick. That's what this was about. I thought he knew about the kick.
No.
So I go up to him, and I was just like, rough times, man. And he's like, it's only ESL. Like, it's all good, man. I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's just like, it's just ESL. It's not that big of a deal. And I was like, shit, like, I gotta backpedal onto this. And he saw my face, and he was trying to figure it out. And then he just left it alone. And later on, he told me that's how he knew like stuff went down the way that it went down.
So you're a snitch?
No, I wasn't trying to be. I thought I was trying to be because I like Seb. He was talented too. We briefly for like 3 days made a team together. And so he was like, hey. I was trying to console him. I was like, it's all good. Don't worry
He's
about
just
it.
like, why? CSL, who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, I've never been invited to one, whatever.
So wait, is that the only TI player you've played with?
I didn't even play. Here's how it went down. It was like he was talent. Remember at TI5?
TI4.
We were at TI5 together.
I'm
Something like that.
as well.
And he was just like, "Hey, we should play together." And I was like, "Okay." And then I played like 2 days, and I was like, "I'm not good. Like I'm gonna hold you back."
You kicked yourself?
I'm gonna be real here. Yeah, I played with Sin too for a bit, and I was like, "Wow." I was like, "This is a bad idea. I shouldn't do this." And BSJ, in fact, I played with like everybody. I played with 2 of the people on that panel at some point. I played with Purge, and Bebby ditched me famously in Korea.
Hey, Purge, you guys were pretty successful, right?
For 3 months, yeah.
Yeah,
What about those other 9? Did you bring that? Do you want to talk about those? That was like 4.
You're a Nexon League champion, Purge.
Yeah, I got the trophy.
Okay.
I was the only one that wanted it. Everyone was like, I don't care. You can have it.
You still have it?
Yeah, of course I still. I'm not just gonna throw that away. Where are you gonna get one of those in 20 years?
You want to know what we did with our money? The first thing we did when we won that, we went to a Taco Bell in Korea.
Oh.
That's what Bambo wanted to do.
Yeah,
that's the way I would celebrate.
And Monte Cristo was there.
Yeah, Monte Cristo was there too. Yeah,
I am disappointed. Taco Bell.
Aduh, suwi baca teh.
Purge, you're a man after
15 menit lah Rani.
We saw the EG, right, be super American. When I first got here, you know what we did? First thing I know we had to do, Blitz was with me. We hit up the Chili's in China, and it was amazing.
We actually straight up went to a chili. That was the first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai. You know that? Like that's the actual first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai.
I am impressed and disappointed at the same time, and I did not know that was possible.
Impress-appointed.
Impress-appointed. I'm sure someone that is impress-appointed an awful lot is someone else on our broadcast team. It is Sir Action Slacks, what are you doing?
What am I doing? Shaver, I'm in the crowd. It's still electric out here. You know, it might be a little late, but Shanghai never goes to sleep when there's good Dota. Speaking of which, sir, how you doing this evening?
I come from OG, and
you came to see OG. What do you think? Pretty good comeback?
in fact, I'm the LGD fans.
You're an LGD fan, but this series
I want to see LGD Revenger.
Yes!
So I will support for OG today.
I think we all want to see that. Sir, who are you supporting?
Actually, LGD Gaming. But I'm also EG fans.
Ah, okay. Why do you want to see EG win?
Because I'm the fan of Atom. Right, I play in like 6 years.
Who isn't a fan of Artor? Now, I asked you two in particular to come up because you had 2 people that didn't want to be on camera. Madame, why didn't you want to be on camera, my dear?
Hello.
And we also had this man who didn't want to be on camera. Why didn't you not want to be on camera, sir? Oh, where are you going? Oh, this guy really doesn't want to be. Hello, my friend. Hello, how are you?
Fine.
You're fine. What do you think of the series, sir? Hello? Stay with him. Oh, my friend, I'm so sorry. Can you at least give us a let's go somebody? Who's your favorite team?
LGD.
All right. Give me a let's go LGD so you look badass.
Let's go LGD.
You did your best. All right, guys, we still got energy. Are we still awake in this arena? Let me hear it. A little bit. Woo! One guy back there's got it. All right, yeah!
Krik lah.
Guys, we're in there. That was a close one.
Kayaknya bahasa Inggris masalahnya.
We still got energy on that panel.
Oh, we definitely do, and I'm already looking
Raine kode kape anjir. Sing Cino-Cino iku. Gak ada bedanya anjir.
That's great. I love it. Like, yeah, I'm rooting for OG. I mean LGD. I mean OG. I mean they're good.
Yeah.
Gak ada saya ngerti bahasa Inggris.
Perfect.
Let me just put you in a headlock real quick.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of time, and I'm gonna make you guys feel old. You ready?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always ready.
All right. We've been talking about Smail and how he won his first TI. This is his 5th TI.
What? That can't be true.
It is true.
Why would that make Grantfield hold? He's 19.
Yeah. I don't look a day over 16. I'm feeling great.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's making me feel good. No, it's crazy. I remember the first time I actually met Sumail. It was D2L, the only tournament I've ever went to in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he was so young. That's the famous picture with all the Chinese players behind him watching it.
Oh, yeah.
He looked so young, and I remember that tournament. It was not a very good tournament, and Sumail, he didn't look good. Like, honestly.
He was
picked
super
him up.
nervous.
Yeah, he was, and it didn't help that there was 40% packet loss during the whole tournament. But, like, this guy, he got last place. He lost to a team with Demon standing in on it. So I was like, this guy can't be the future. And then, you know, Q forward 6 months, he's winning a TI, and what do you know?
Didn't EG produce that tournament?
Back to you, Sheever.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
no, but
Conrad
there was some affiliation.
Yeah,
true.
there was strong affiliation. Conrad was like the guy who ran production.
Well, it was just a trial tournament to get Sumail comfortable with playing.
And it worked.
On stage. It worked because after that they went to DAC 2015. They went to China. They went to Shanghai and they crushed it.
They went on a storm. That was like that was EG's best time.
Storm.
Probably.
I see what you did there. A
Thank
storm.
you.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. What a journey that has been. It's been actually crazy that EG always has been very high at the top in a lot of internationals. And right now, I mean, even if they don't win the next game, they're still top 6, right? Yes.
Well,
which is still really good. And I'm assuming that they're.
I don't think either team's okay with that, though, right? If you ask OG or EG, are you okay with the top 6? They're going to be like, no, it's a win or nothing. It's a win or we don't give a shit kind of thing.
Well, you tell me. You know, we're about to see these players take the stage for the 3rd time in this series. Do they look like they will be okay at being top 6? No. That is the face of someone who wants to take his 2nd international.
Seru lagi, mantap.
We actually have 7 TI winners taking the stage right
Wes
now.
kayak final lah ya anjing.
That is absolutely crazy. And they both look confident, right? Like neither
Kesian
team's
kowe
coming
video
out
nih,
kinda
aku
sad
delay.
to see Sumail leading the way, smiling. No tail on the other side doing the exact same thing. We're just ready for some good Dota.
We really, really are. Now we know that the best thing to deal with OG is ban out the IO and the mag. We've seen EG do that both times around. I'm assuming it's going to be happening again. I'm curious to find out what makes these two teams, even if they don't have the IO and the mag, what makes these two teams be such a good match for each other, because they do tend to push each other to the limits.
Yeah.
Will you want to take this one?
I think it's they have like a similar way of playing, and I don't mean like in terms of like early late game. I think it comes down like to the item timings. It's when Arteezy and Anase like we're both ready to fight at this point. So, and they're willing to push each other at different points. Like, and also they're really highly skilled too. So it just sort of leads to like a nice chess match where one team wants the game to go and one point, and conversely it's true too. Like, if you see how they play Void, for example, and like how he rotates, he wants to hit his item timing first. He wants like 1 kill item. Same with Thompson, and that's like generally how they move around. And EG sort of similar. They're just a little bit slower pace.
Yeah.
In that way.
I think it's always Arteezy wants that 2nd item.
Yeah.
Usually, because he went like first item BKB, right? He went like Yasha BKB this game, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it's because he realized like he probably had to fight a little bit earlier than he would have liked.
Yeah.
I like how they just push each other, and plus like the rivalry aspect of it, I think always just makes the game a little bit more hype.
Yeah, it does. They're never just going to go down like, sure, game 1 was a stomp, but that's exactly why it comes back to game 2. It's never going to be a straight up 2-0 stomp. No matter what people think, no matter who's the best team in the world, like, they're always going to push each other.
And you know how often it is, we like a good story, and we like it when there's, a little bit of spice in there too. And often the players are like, you know what, I don't care who I play, I just want to win. This time, we know they care. They all changed their profile pictures on Steam to place the banners to No-Tail's face when the handshake happened, which, by the way, there will be a handshake. We don't know which one yet, but there will be a handshake after the next game. I mean, I personally love the drama.
I mean, to be fair, that was some of the times you said that even other players want to do it for the memes. They play it up because they find it humorous as well. Almost the shipping culture that happens whenever these rivalries are formed.
Yeah, but Timoman said that if for whatever reason, like his dream was to play against Liquid in the lower bracket, and if he knocked him out, he was gonna do like a fake angry handshake when he walked past. I was like,
but he was expecting to be knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Shiva, they got 18.
But that means he didn't think that he would win.
Let me just say the expectations were, they were as is.
I mean, that being said, I do hope that people can like separate the entertainment aspect versus the actual drama aspect, because obviously we like talking about this kind of stuff. I don't know what Fly's thinking. I don't know what No Tail's thinking. These people are real people with real families, real lives, and that kind of stuff. And so I think it's important that viewers and us can kind of separate the concept of what happens here whenever the cameras go off and the GGs are called. These people continue leading their lives, and so you don't necessarily need to like push your drama on.
I can assure you, after all that happened, though, it was real beef.
Yes,
it was there was no fake drama in
but
that
it's
one.
been a year at this
OG
point.
it has been. But how would you feel about that? You just saw OG, the team who's pretty much just making fun of you the whole year. Go and win that TI. Like a year later, you're here again. I feel like the same feelings are definitely coming back up again.
Yeah, I feel like that is true for a lot of people. The point you made, Tsunami, it's true. Like for example, if you look at Kuro and Puppy, they are rivals, and we like to play that up. But in reality, they are respecting of each other, and they're both happy at the place they're at now, as we saw in an interview earlier today.
Although, didn't Kuro say in that interview, "Are we friends?"
Yeah, that was a joke, though.
Oh, okay. You say so.
Invited him to his wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Kuro was at Puppy's wedding.
What if it was the red wedding?
Oh yeah. Well.
I was at the wedding. I'm still alive.
Okay, so it was good. All right, Shiva, thank you for confirming. I was getting nervous, but we're
It's all good. It's all good. No, I think that this is some drama that I call it drama. Some friction that is definitely real.
Things need resolution.
Yeah.
Not the player.
True. We also we need some Dota 2 to be played. We need a game 3. But for that, we need a draft. We need some heroes chosen. So let's go to that draft.
OG
versus
Evil Geniuses. Game 3.
The deciding game 3 coming up in just a second. The winner of this is going to go on to face LGD in the winner bracket final. A huge match. There is some crazy repeat storylines that could happen here. I don't know which way it's going to go, though. What do you guys think?
Not too sure, but it's looking like Enchantress is a pretty hot one that's going to be contested. It might be deciding quite a bit here in this matchup, as we saw lanes were really important in that last game. Of course, also the big team fights.
Wih, ngopi sih,
That's why
Ler.
Enchantress seems to just like set you
Ngopi,
up to
Ler.
have that like.
Kopi dong.
Wih,
Pesan kopi.
ngopi.
Pesan kopi.
Enchantress, but
Pesan kopi, gue.
I just realized like the mid lane is so important. I think both games, whoever won mid just had the game on their backs. Like Thompson or super hyper aggressive mid.
Gondrong mania.
Ben-benane podo.
If the advantage is given.
Oh, iki game sak durunge.
Pick Enchantress again.
Rekaman nih bener ah.
Exactly the same bands. The only difference is
Adalah
Elder Titan
ben-benane
is the first
podo
phase
anjing.
instead of each version, similar to the first game draft. Except pick order is flipped as well.
So as I was saying, I think like this Thompson, this Sumer, these two players just love to kill.
Anjay artis.
Given the advantage.
Saya delok komentar tweets kayak apa? Sana. Orang nak sing komen artis.
Ono.
Artisi ya, Arthur. Lol artisi ya. Artisi lul. Artisi cilin. Cil artisi cil. Emang penonton tuh sih berber kabeh anjing.
Go insane. He makes your opponents look like pup opponents is what it seems like. And he was able to do that last game. He got 3 kills like Tsunami showed within a matter of 1 minute. It was insane to watch. Can he do that again without Tiny? Like, what's the hero substitute that would solve that?
That's why I said
Does he
Monkey
need to do it? Monkey King is definitely one of those heroes that he does it
Iki
with.
rekaman
but
apa itu tuh?
can you beat it?
Oh, tuh anjing.
I guess he has no armor at level 1.
Sumpah lo, ben-benane podo
I used to see the
anjing.
matchup actually a lot last year, and it was like pretty back and forth. I think the Monkey King won most of those though.
Tak kira nek replay anjing cuk.
Concerning too,
Ya gak mungkin lah
you
ini.
can also just get burst down.
And there's a
Invoker dong.
Thompson mana invokermu? Game pertama Thompson kalah.
Arrow can be very devastating.
Yeah.
Is this going to be Thompson Invoker again?
This is probably flex pick, right? I think it can still be Jarax's hero for sure. I think you leave it open until you see what lane you're against for sure in the mid lane. And I think when you have the Enchantress, it allows you the luxury of actually being able to go for a little bit more of a greedy core position, because Enchantress just
Tangannya tremor.
has a pretty good lane.
Invoker ya.
Ajan ngono kan.
And then it'll transition into
Ajan
lane game well,
bergetar.
and the laning stage won't be terrible, right?
Yeah. And like Enchantress, like I talked about, game 2 needs some AoE team fight control, and Invoker provides that.
Yep.
On position 4, so it can be a position 4.
Actually, gonna ban the SD finally. Wasn't being banned out in the last 2 games, but this time I guess because they do have that Mirana and they're not maybe wanting to have a save this time around, because last time, right, they saved that Oracle for last pick to save versus the combo.
Yeah, that's right.
Si Kapsen nanggutinnya orang tahu kalah, pantesan ya, keren mainnya.
He ate a lot of arrows, maybe a good thing, but yeah, not gonna happen in this game. So it's gonna be a lot harder for OG to set up guaranteed teamfight wins later on.
Yeah, Void and Invoker.
Masih slow di sana, Artezi.
Void Chrono into Cataclysm, the late game is pretty devastating, so I think they're just taking that out.
Oh, pengen monitornya anjing.
TI is so great because you always like do the full circle back to like either super carries getting picked up like anti-mage, or it's just like these massive team fight lineups that just constantly are battling. Like you were mentioning in the last game, we had 50-something kills in the 40-minute mark, or even more than that, something like that. It's just non-stop aggression, non-stop fighting, non-stop trying to take these battles. And usually the team with the better team fight at the TI main stage ends up having an easier time, at least at executing.
It just really helps when you have a hero that can grasp win. Like, you know where they are, you see them, you can jump in, hard disable them, guarantee kills. That makes a huge difference. Really help against the
Pirong meter sih itu kabelnya sampai Artezi solo budak kono.
Ngerti.
It makes the game a lot easier.
Especially for these teams too. I think EG, OG
Gak dinggo paling suaranya, dicabut iku.
Fight early and just like spill a lot of blood.
We'll see if they can do the same thing. Centaur band now.
Apa sih kayak strategi?
Audio teknika.
Has pretty good time getting
Teknika, hati-hati.
So maybe they're worried about the carry versus offlane matchup. What do you guys think?
It can be a setup for the Mirana arrow later on, and it's either Sanking or Centaur, and EG doesn't have ET this time around, so Centaur ban does make a bit of sense.
So you think Sanking's not as bad now? Because the ET's not there?
Yeah, it's definitely worse, because Sanking Mirana, the dual combo, yes, the damage is there, but it's too like one-dimensional, the damage. Like, it's bad against BKBs, it's gonna fall off eventually because the damage is linear. It doesn't scale well.
Then over the CM that
CM
they
dong.
used in the first game. I think this is also just dictating that they want to play really aggressive like they did with the CM last time.
Yeah.
Allows everyone to just be constantly on the map more, because you always have that aura, you can always keep pushing out lanes, you can always keep playing aggressive, and
Ew.
even threaten an aggro tri-lane, as we saw them do with that CM in the first series, or in the first game.
It's a good form of damage from position 5 to
Masa iya, Rick?
Enchantress too, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Priest build
Iya, di banned, Cuk.
used in a lot of cases against the PA as well.
So let's see what looks like a pretty decent hero for OG here.
Yeah, I believe they got banned second phase in the first game in this similar situation.
Feels good versus all these just like high magic damage. Tiny is, sure you have high armor, but very high HP hero that Lifestealer really enjoys playing versus.
Yeah, the only time it's good versus for Tiny is when he gets his axe and you can do like range heavy physical damage.
Could be a carry that OG could be looking at.
Artis is fan nih.
Third, they might save it.
I mean, technically, they could have zero support on the
Artis
board
is
right now,
fan.
but abnormal.
True.
Anything else really good? Ogre is still in the pool.
Juggernaut looks okay for OG as well.
Which hero?
Juggernaut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, similar to
Rubik.
Lifestealer.
Wow.
Rubik. Yeah, with this Rubik pick, it seems like it's on Invoker mid, right?
Yeah, that's what you think. This is actually cool. We saw now what the LGD series. I've been seeing a lot of teams actually picking the Rubik versus the Mirana now, just because you're likely to get a pretty damn good steal. Like everything is good. Leap is probably like your worst one, and it's a triple away to either get in or get out as a Rubik, which isn't bad to have. Arrow is a great spell because you're gonna get the extra duration. Starstorm as well. You get the amplification. I've really actually been liking that Rubik pick a
Sven
lot
apa
that I've
Juggernaut?
seen from teams today versus that Mirana in particular.
Antara Sven, Juggernaut, Lifestealer.
It feels really great playing Rubik against CM. All our spurs are pretty nice. And you kind of can't
Ding
OT
dong.
against Rubik, because Rubik's CM ulti is so much stronger than your ulti.
Yeah.
And even if he stuns somebody else, he can still possibly throw them into her,
Yeah.
interrupt her ultimate.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a really good Rubik pick, but I'm kind of afraid for this Invoker's game. Like we saw in the game 1, I feel like EG Mirana can roam to mid. Meanwhile, like Rubik cannot kind of roam to mid to kill the Tiny. And Tiny versus Invoker matchup in general, Tiny seems to have the upper edge. And we don't even know if it's I guess it's a Tiny mid. Like it should be a Mirana for Tiny mid.
Yeah, that's what I mean, that's Probably the more than likely.
Yeah.
We know Sumail loves to play Tiny as well, as we saw last year, of course, when he had the 30-something kills or whatever when he ran over the whole game.
It's like literally this match and this part of the bracket a year ago.
It's
he
the
broke
same heroes.
the all-time kill record for a single game. Got 30 kills. It was an insane match, and then Sumail still lost the match.
That was versus OG too, right?
Yes,
And that was the one.
literally
That was the
same thing.
damage mitigation draft where they had Spectre, Io, Centaur, and I remember he's just running around and then he tossed Arteezy into the tier 4s. Of course, that happened in that game.
Hey man, he got 30 kills. I do not care. You cannot say that one was Sumail's fault. He messes up once.
Hello.
Ask BSJ about that. You know, he blames Sumail entirely for that game.
Really?
Yeah.
This pick's kind of throwing me off because it should be easy crit.
Oh iya, Mirana.
One of his favorite heroes is amazing.
Mirana Sumail, Artis Tini.
Yeah, wait a minute. What about a
CM Fly, Willow, Treat.
I mean, really, Mirana could hypothetically lane in any situation.
That's true. I guess they could still do that 3 Mirana and then having this.
But 3 Mirana with a Willow, that seems too squishy. So I think it's a mid Mirana and Tiny off lane.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
That makes more sense, yeah.
Is it that squishy versus Rubik?
Tiny Artizi,
Willow can get
Mirana,
You get Curse
Sumail.
Crown, toss that on a guy, that's an arrow, for sure. Plus Bramble Mace follow up, maybe kill potential. And crits, Dark Willow is excellent.
Yeah.
And Dark Willow has tons of magic damage,
It's
so
pretty
she's
good
going to be able to
against
kill the
Enchantress.
Enchantress.
It's good for
She's
the
going to
yes.
rush the Spirit Vessel. It kind of fits a lot of boxes. The only thing that's weird about it is it's going to force Mirana into a weird role, potentially. Not a non-standard for the current meta.
And they're going to go for that jug
Juggernaut
now, especially
Ana.
versus the Willow. I think it's...
Oh, Juggernaut
it's
tadi cukup
so good
OP
versus
malah.
that hero.
Lifesteal was an option too, I think. But I think
What makes Jug better?
I think OG, they're the healing ward. They can just keep on there's 2 healers. The Nature's Enchantress is here and Juggernaut healing ward. So they can just keep being on the map.
So I think the Jug is better versus the Willow overall because you can actually do something when she's inside of her realm. You can actually spin and do some damage as well. It's small, but it's something.
Alright, last phase of Vance here. Oracle banned out once again. They are anticipating the save hero. Any other save heroes? Do they need a save hero with the Jug carry?
He can kind of protect himself. There's no BKB piercing disables on EG at all right now, so that spin is going to be really useful for himself to protect him.
And one thing EG is actually really missing this game, unlike what they had last game, was they don't have a setup stun other than Tiny. So it's going to be really difficult for Mirana to get arrows unless it's like Dark Willow. Basically, it's a delayed stun. So
They have Frostbite. I mean, it's not amazing, and it doesn't usually come out like laning phase really, but I mean,
correct.
Yeah, it's not an easier complicated.
Yeah, it's still yes.
But when BKBs come out for OG, then they will have defensive options against EG's current team, so they go for Sand Kings. That's their
5 position Enchantress then, right?
Yeah, that
my
makes
right.
sense.
That's the no-tail Enchantress.
It's a very weird name, but I always see Noterra putting it off. The Enchantress and the Juggernaut lane. Usually Juggernaut wants some disable from position 5, so they have that nice disable into spin combo, but let's see how Noterra pulls this off.
Yeah, he can also so he has also the Dispel as well versus the Willow. That can be kind of nice to. Actually, what am I talking about? Sorry.
other way around.
Yeah,
You can't dispel
just
yourself.
kidding.
It's okay. We all make
It's it's been a long day.
Your mistake was way less egregious than mine was, so I'll let it go.
I was like, what am I saying right
So
now?
what is the carry hero needed for EG here?
I know that's a question you're supposed to answer.
Maybe it's Slark. I can see Slark being okay.
Arteezy Slark.
Ooh, anti-mech.
Anti-mage.
This is what we said, right? The anti-mages, they trickle back into the TI meta. And he's versus that, potentially what the core, I mean, not potentially, but the core invoker. So, high mana pool.
But I don't think it's the strongest hero this game.
Why do you think they went for it?
Juggernaut's pretty good against anti-mage.
Yeah.
I think they went for it because it's really great against Zanking and the Rubik.
Like lane-wise, it'll be easy?
Lane-wise and game-wise. Lane-wise, I'm not so sure. Like he might have a tougher time, but I know like in-game it's gonna be pretty easy. But Juggernaut is pretty good against anti-mage.
Alright guys, that's the final draft here for this last upper bracket match. We've got a really good game ahead of us. Let's toss it over to Toby and Sin.
Sumail Mirana.
It is game 3, it's the decider, but who this time around will take the 2-1 and that winner's bracket position? OG and EG, interesting drafts once again. It's always interesting when you ban out a Magna and IO, but you love and a nice little switch up from OG as far as the lane rolls go.
Yeah, they gave away the Enchantress again, and as the panel was talking about, this Enchantress, wait, they picked Sand King, this Enchantress has got to be support now, and that's why they picked the Anti-Mage. This is the worst match. I love playing Sand King. It's one of my favorite off-laners. I hate playing against Anti-Mage. It is so bad of a lane matchup, and that's a big part of the reason EG picked it here, is to force that matchup, as well as it being good against the Invoker in the game. However, OG step it up a notch. They're like, okay, we need to solve this. You saw them in the booth. They were doing their math, and they've decided that they will put the Sand King position 4, and No-Tail is playing 5 Rubik. That's how important it is for them to solve this problem. It was kind of a checkmate situation almost, but they got out of it.
Gila wong ngelakuin yang buri layar tok. Dadah.
Can this work with this support duo? It's very unusual.
The panel was already saying like somehow No-Tail makes the support Enchantress work as well. Now making the support Rubik work. How do you try and lane this up then to make it actually happen? We've seen Seb do his work. Jirax was, in my mind, amazing in game 2 on that ES. He's still gonna play the same team role, team stunner, team fight role that OG really need from him as well. But how do you still ensure that No-Tail has a good game on this fight for Rubik?
Well, fortunately for him, he's laning with a strong carry in lane. Juggernaut is a pretty good laner, and there's no matchup in this that he totally can't deal with. So
it's not a combination, right? Like Rubik and Juggernaut together is spin and telekinesis grab. It's old, but it could still work.
But the problem with that is Rubik deals so little damage. That's the problem with that combo in the start. When Rubik hits level 3 and has 2 in Fateful, sure. But if you compare it to something like Lich Jugger or Crystal Maiden Jugger, there's just way more in the way of damage from those 2 supports in the lane. So it's definitely a weaker version. But honestly, I just love it from OG that they're doing this, because I think it's a very creative and probably ideal solution to the problem that they have to solve. The question is if it's good enough, and it's also about what lanes they get. Because sure, you get the core Sand King out of the problem against Anti-Mage, but guess what? Support Sand King also hates facing Anti-Mage. So you still need to get the lanes right and go from there, and it looks like EG might have the right read in this game. They've put their tiny top so far.
And Anti-Mage is down on the bottom lane with Fly.
Yeah, they want the Anti-Mage to avoid the Ench. So that will mean Anti-Mage will not play against Sand King. So there's a bit of a win for both teams in that sense. Sand King will have a better time up here, but Anti-Mage will also be avoiding the Ench.
That was nice from Fly, right underneath the Juggernaut, grabs the rune. So it's 3 for 1 at the very beginning.
This aggro tri-lane from EG is very unorthodox, by the way. Crystal Maiden, Dark Willow, Anti-Mage aggro tri-lane.
It's like, you go for the Nova, then they have to navigate the Bramble at slow speed. Like, this can't last for long, can it?
Well, it's kind of good news for Ana, because he's good against this lane. But No-Tail could have a very hard time, and the question is how much farm he's going to get. Oh, that's some really good damage into Ana already, actually. They're playing without a healing cell.
Meanwhile,
bottom lane.
Yeah. Bottom lane they go ham. Samael's taking a lot of damage. S4's having a hard time walking away from Jirax on the top. Got a nice observe ward under, like, just on the other side of the trees. So they're able to see S4, any support that comes his way. Mainly the T4 from Fly.
He got 3 free hits in on Ana, just burning off the mana as fast as possible. So Ana has to dig into the mango to spin later, and then that's
a great ramp.
That's some serious damage.
Is he gonna spin? He has to that thing up, and 6 yet 0 HP. Ana is down. Crit gets the reach.
He refused to skill spin because he feels like he needs healing or to sustain. And he TP's back down. He still hasn't put in his skill point and hasn't bought any extra regen. There's no salve still coming in. No-Tail had the gold for it. Honestly surprised that they didn't drop some regen and bring that with Ana's TP.
And now the EG have the advantage. They're moving Fly to the top lane.
8 for 3 against 1-0. That's a tri-lane well executed in the start.
Oh.
Thompson and Samael. What a surprise.
Kabar itu Nobar itu
Samael gets the kill, so he'll get the XP.
Oh, Nobar.
Yeah, big winner there.
Kayak lo Samael ambil
And he got the experience.
Thompson mati bareng.
So he's going to feel good about that one.
Because that's just the way the mid lane gets to work when it's a 1-1 trade.
Sometimes the guy who gets the kill second is not as unfavored as Thompson was in that exchange, but
it's actually hilarious how they start again. Thompson's back under the tier 1 tower, feeding into Samael. They both have to start munching on tangos and dropping down a half-life bottom lane. Arteezy, he's going once again on Ana. Ana still holding the spin as Arteezy drops low. They just want to get some experience into them. Well, S4 enchanted up, buying Jirax some time to attack, and he's body blocking S4. Trying to buy more time for Seb to get damage in, but S4 will just salve this off.
In the meantime, bottom lane. They're out of regen. OG completely dry. Actually, never mind. Ana got a tango pack left. But no salve still. No regen, no mana, no tail.
In the bramble. Tritus, like, working with Arteezy, you burn up the mana, and then it's just easy harassment from range.
The good news for OG, though, is the top lane is going well. Seb has great farm. They're shutting down the Tiny nicely, as they should be, with the head start they had. But the other two lanes going well for EG. And this time around, Arteezy's not getting shut down. And the way they've been playing this series so far, I think you can consider this an early lead for them. That is what they want. Anti-Mage to have a beginning that he can work with. Is that a healing? That's a Ring of Health playing out? No, it's a Wraith Band and some more regen for Arteezy. So he can keep on the pressure.
Just loving it. Even the fort was used. I think that was actually so the tree toss from S4 wouldn't get the kill on the range creep on top lane. They're really just trying to keep him down as much as possible, and they have. He's, as you said, he's 5 for 0. The lane's looking good, but bottom lane, Arteezy just gets more and more time to beat into him. And now another root blink forward from Arteezy. Notel navigating the brambles. He'll get the space, but he will not escape crit. Anna was trying to stand on top of him, I think, to make it a misclick from crit, but it won't work.
And I wonder how Ana's going to recover this time around. We saw in the Void game, the lane might have been a little bit hard, but he recovered nicely. This time around, it just feels harder. Their lane, his Rubik Jugger, how are they supposed to kill in this lane? It's an anti-mage and a Willow. You can, maybe you can get a lift on the Willow and toss it into a spin, but it's not enough damage, and the anti-mage is just flat out unkillable. Look at Willow just leaving Arteezy even to go into mid. They're trying to get Thompson Brambles.
Yeah, Tornado. Oh, Thompson! He was standing almost smack bang in the middle of one of crit, and he just moves a little bit further north and dodges.
Nice.
Gak ngiket dong skill GG-nya.
And what does Ana and Notel do instantly? Alright, well, it's time to do some damage towards Arteezy. Hopefully I get one crit, and he got one.
Oh, he got tossed up top. Sep got tossed into the tower.
Mati.
Oh no, he can't die
Sep.
here. That's real bad for OG's laning. That is such a big kill. Now Jerax,
Dia mati Jerax. Oh enggak.
He might have to yield on the bounty runes too. He has no enchantress to help him out, so OG will get 3 runes, or EG, sorry, will get 3 runes, maybe even 4. So Mail.
He's moving over for it. That's a
Seb
bottle
is too
charge
late.
too.
4 runes and a kill on the Ench. Seb was out of position and got tossed.
I like how Fly is not even grabbing it. He's waiting it out. Maybe he can even get some bottle charges if he wants to help out. Jirax waiting on the top lane. S4's nearby. They'll go for the Frost. Quick Mango. Anything they've got. Jirax, he's invis for the moment. The tree toss, a little bit off target. Jirax able to dodge. But this is some time that's being wasted by Samael looking for this kill. He'll take the catapult up on top, but Thompson's in recovery mode in mid, while this rotation doesn't net a kill.
Are EG going to swap their lanes so Tiny goes mid now, or what's the plan here?
Like
leaving the lane empty like this is a bit odd.
I think they're trying to wait until S4 returns to the lane, and now the TP happens.
Now he's half a level behind Thompson, though.
Ana is getting forever rooted by crit on bottom lane. There's 1 tango left. He'll have to consume the mango in order to have enough to get the healing ward down, but how's he meant to be farming under here? And instantly taken care of by crit. There's no sustain at all. It's almost like there's no hope for Ana down here.
And crit gets that extra mana coming in constantly from the Maiden Aura. He might be dying here, though, if Notel gets the lift. Jerax is in range. Not anymore now. He's going to wrap around.
Like, which one's real? I need to choose. I prefer to get the kill over on Arteezy, but it seems impossible unless they have full control. Pick up, throw down. Oh,
Whoa.
no. The spell shield's leveled up at 4, and Arteezy just trades places with Jirax. And then into Bramble.
Mati sih.
S4's arrived with the
Balik
avalanche.
mati.
Crit. Level 2 in Shadow Realm has more than enough damage to pop Ana once more, his 2nd death of the game.
That's going to be a Ring of Health for Arteezy now as well, coming in a sec. Going to be furthering his lead in this lane, making the harassment that bit harder.
I almost feel like Seb is taunting to try and get EG to come back to him.
Oh, I'm sure he's muted. Don't worry about it. There's no way. He's absolutely muted. So, Anti-Mage with the Ring of Health will be that bit harder to harass now for the Rubik. He's going to continue his farming down here in the bottom lane.
It really
the big
feels
difference.
like Thompson's just had the last 3 minutes by himself in mid lane.
That's the biggest difference between this game and the other Invoker game, is that Thompson is having a much better time this time around, and we know what kind of tempo he can set for his team this kind of games. But does he have targets? It's hard to kill Willow as Invoker. It's hard to kill the Anti-Mage as Invoker. It's hard to kill Mirana as Invoker. And even the tiny, the targets, it's easy to kill Maiden. So that's nice.
It's almost like you need to pick up an Orchid in order to get the kills on these guys. So they don't counter you back.
He needs someone to combine with, but the best player for him to combine with is a Sankey. But
bottom lane,
yeah.
AMP, they just
Yeah,
need to
Matthias,
make sure there's no blink away and Uneasy. Spell Shield won't help you there.
4-man gank, the lift.
And instantly back into mid lane, he'll miss one melee creep. So efficient from Thompson's rotation, but EG's trying one of their own. Under their own dire observer. Seb, you've been taunting for a while. You've been asking EG to kill you. And, well, you may get exactly what you wish for. Seb gets to 1 level up in attendance, stick charges, but he's got the Curse Crown on him. He can't walk this off, but TP's coming in from Rubik. Notel will look to create the space, and Seb, well, he can walk it off. Even with his tree toss from S4, I don't think he's got enough damage, and even Notel dewards the ops.
Thompson being super annoying mid. Arteezy does have the Maiden aura though, so we'll get mana for Blink a bit sooner. Has the stick charges if he really needs to blink.
Seb just moving over. It's like, okay, well, Curse Crown me. Thompson's ready to fight. Thompson, in fact, please stun me too. S4 able to do it, but Jirax, he gets a double stun of his own. They get the telekinesis grab over on S4, but Jirax, he's focusing over on Crit, using that cold snap for the control. S4 now comes up as well up the hill, realizes OG owns this part of the map with the impetus. He actually gets the damage. He'll die for the fall. Jirax, not the perfect layer, but it'll still work nonetheless. Samel, burnt out of mana. He's bottle charging up. Seb needs to give the attendance over towards Thompson. Now they can turn their attack over. Fly, he's arrived as well. Looking for that damage. Have they got enough? Samel has to leap distance to get away to safety. And Crit, he wants to turn around. Thompson, again, that Curse Crown. It's going to get the stun. The Quast, it will not be enough life and sustain to keep Thompson alive. And Samel will quite happily take that kill.
Man, there's so much happening on the map right now. And guess who the biggest winner is, as it always is with OG? Anna was bottom the whole time. So much space being made for him. He's caught up. He's actually overtaken Arteezy now after that very difficult laning stage in the beginning. The 1 kill they got bottom, and then this move mid just created a lot of time for him.
10-minute runes, here we go again. If you thought it was going to simmer down, Jirax will take the bounty to begin with. They're looking over towards Crit. Jirax looking to actually cut through. It's a level 3 burrow, so he's not in range. The Shadow Realm being used to just protect Crit for the moment. He'll slap an extra attack into Notel for sure. Meanwhile, Thompson alone in mid lane.
Yep.
It feels like the old classic. As you said, like Anna gets space, but then when you go down to deal with Anna, you deal with another lane, then Thompson gets space. Like, which poison do you want to die to here? The only other choice is to kill them all. EMP Tornado from Thompson in mid. Crit, he's ready to move around to work here with Fly. Samel will take the damage. He's got the 1 charge with the Curse Crown, and Bokus are walking out of here. He'll go invis, but it won't help him.
In the meantime, though, Arteezy is not getting a single creep. OG are putting their own pressure up top where Arteezy is playing. With the siege creep.
TP, Arteezy jumps in, untouchable. That takes a long time to get 1 attack into Seb. He'll move into the trees. The attendance is they're going to wear off right now. But Arteezy's blinked himself forward, so Seb is quite happy to do max damage to that anti-mage. A quick Curse Crown on Jirax. He's got Burrow Strike available, waits it out nicely, gets a stun through the Shadow Realm, and then dodges the arrow of Samel a little late, and now that leaves Crit stranded. There's little to no damage he can do to get any kind of rebuttal, and the rest of his team has left him for dead.
I think the arrow wasn't ready, or Samel would have definitely got that on the crown. Probably had a minor cooldown from the... Oh, did he even use it? I'm actually not sure. That was just...
On the ground. The arrow? It got thrown at the end, yeah.
Yeah, that was a guaranteed stun if he used it earlier, so maybe it was on cooldown there. S4 will be pressuring bottom while all this is happening. And
what does Seb do?
Seb's going to defend it for now. He just walks in.
That's fine. What are these creeps going to do? They'll swing their arms up in the air. For Detroit. A lovely city.
Damn it.
Oh, I got it before you.
Oh.
Hey.
My joke.
Hey, I got you with the Ghostbusters, man. I got you with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, I was not thinking about that.
Yeah. Does anyone even know what that song is, or are we just proving our age?
Everybody knows that song.
Really hope so. Most people don't even know what Bonanza is.
Top from S4. They want to try on Ana here. This kill is
difficult.
Actually flat out impossible for these 2 heroes. He can spin CPL.
Yep. Problem with the Avalanche, never a permanent
He doesn't
stun.
have a TP.
Oh, Shadow Realm will take out the healing ward. Jirax is nearby. He may have to burst to create some space, or he's just like, okay, Hannah, I'm sorry,
Ana
man.
mati
You can
mana?
only sus if you want to, but
Iya.
you're dead.
Oh, I didn't click him to check if he had a TP before that, but EG very clearly did, and they ran him down. That is a huge kill. He was the richest hero on the map. This seems to happen once or twice in every game. Ana is just being left alone and will get killed once in a while. These kills are big.
I remember the analyst panel, they're talking about like the way OG plays, like, hey, we're up on the top lane, and it was always Seb who was kind of the one who was out too far. It's like, hey, come and kill me. How many heroes did it take from EG to kill off the Juggernaut? Yeah, he's worth a lot, but then you get heavy damage into the tier 1 towers. Seb, who was the number 1, they're giving more back into him, and he's going to try and return it in with a drum build early on. And just add that level of pressure. And meanwhile, Thompson also farming up. Straight into Spirit Vessel, no Hand of Midas on this Invoker.
And there's another big item coming up soon. This one is for EG though. It's going to be the dagger for S4 and 100 gold. Some really good targets for him in this game. A lot of the Radiant heroes don't have too much max health. The Rubik support dies very easily. The Invoker dies really easily. The Enchantress also dies easily if there's a little bit of follow-up. Speaking of Enchantress, they're actually, again, they're trying. I mean, it's not happening.
No. There's more support coming in under the cover of smoke to both sides. Arteezy was being hunted, but Arteezy's game sense is tingling. He just moves away and goes down to the Trinity camp we were talking about. I'm being invaded in my own jungle.
Ooh.
Observers and sentries now being dewatered. Bottom lane, Seb. Yep.
Okay.
Fly. Okay. Hey, real CM's channel full duration.
They threw everything in the kitchen at him. Not just the sink that time.
They'll get a lot of it back. Smells found a regeneration rune at bottom river.
Sumail not skilling Moonlight Shadow, by the way. What is this? Not a single point in it? I mean, he could only have one, but he's level 10.
Went for the 200 health instead.
It can be really useful for his team. Like, it can be the difference maker, but whether AM survives a gank or not. Is that worth 1 point an arrow? How about that? Okay.
I was actually kind of wondering too, like how he would build in. We were kind of tossing up like where do you get a lot of your physical damage from? Like how do you make sure you like obviously there's no physical build coming in this time around. There's 200 health, we're not going to 15 damage, and he's going in for Aghanim Scepter. Huge lane clearance, and something that OG may not have an easy answer to. Like both cores are going for Battle Furies, but Anti-Mage as well as Mirana, they can clean waves up so quickly and they're so highly maneuverable.
Mid tower.
Yep. TP comes in.
Ooh.
Quick spin from Ana. The fear will be there, and that's going to force the Enchantress to run away. But Ana's in pretty deep. Still has Omnislash available and a heavy amount of damage thanks to the Demon Edge. And Crit, well, he'll stand there.
Yeah.
The entire Omnislash. As the rest of EG back up behind the tier 2.
It was a good idea from S4, but he missed the toss on the Jugger. He tossed a creep instead that got in the way.
Seb, you're coming in deep, man. Like, they're under a shrine. He's got a lot more. Avalanche toss up into the arrow, and Thompson's trying to help out with the cold snap, pushing Smell away. Enchantress now going to get the sprites off. No-Tail still there. The Mana Void. Arteezy! Oh,
that tornado!
The EMP! They're all bone dry! It is an absolute drought of EG! Oh, Arteezy's not going to be happy with that one. The arrow from Smell well off target of Invoker. Cold snap's coming off cooldown right now.
Cepnya nggak mati dong kayak ngono.
Stand together and get stunned. Maybe there's some damage from the Bedlam, but then a fire strike from Jirax picking on Crit, and this game has escalated quickly. Meanwhile, Ana up in Norway farming the top lane.
It feels like, I don't know how Enchantress manages to do this in her games, to just tempt everyone to try for these hard kills. If it's just a tilt effect, like you get annoyed, you're like, just kill the Enchantress, but
let's just get him. Let's just get him.
It's really costing EG here that they try to go for these Enchantress kills. They've got 2 on her, but how many have they failed, and how much time has that cost them?
It's cost them a lot. Juggernaut has finished a Battle Fury before the Anti-Mage.
Way before. Arteezy's not even close. He's 2,000 gold away from it right now.
The Graph in golden experience gets to swing up. EG has obliged OG with a lot of fights, but they need to be able to settle this game down. They need the Aghanims, they need the split push, they need the Battle Fury, they need a lot of things. But what is OG doing? Not giving them the room to breathe. Already attacking into the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
The tempo is so high now from OG. Now they can kind of do whatever they want. Sand King will get a dagger very soon. Yep, they're gonna dive S4.
Notel stunned up continuously, but they'll still get the grab. Pulling back down again. Burrow strikes it vulnerable, making sure S4 does not get up the hill. Frostbite from Fly can't create enough space. And there is no other support coming in from EG. Instead it was coming from OG. And now it's a 17-minute blink dagger for a support SK. We're wondering how you can make these two very not financially viable supports when it's so hard to buy, but this works when Durex has a blink dagger as fast as the normal offlane doesn't get them.
Smell gets a DD.
Very uncertain about fighting against Durex even with that DD.
He was thinking about it, but didn't want to go.
Good observers and sentries from EG. Jirax, oh, he'll cop that arrow. Still under sentry. Samel can claim that kill nice and quick. And then S4, he'll jump in as well. They're going up the supports and they've got him. Samel with the double kill. Turn your attention over towards Seb. It'll take a long time to attack into him. The EMP burn is also there from Thompson, making life a little bit more difficult for the Dark Willow. And Seb, he wants to battle. They have sentry versus sentry. Somebody get rid of that. Flies moving forward. You can definitely see them. They're sentries. Oh, crit. Oh, that's a good combo. Really good jump in. The Bramble. He'll catch out Ana. He's got Omni Slash. He can turn around right now. There's only one creep that's there. They're doing all the spin damage into S4, but you have to burn the ultimates from Ana. He'll crit at the end.
I think S4, or sorry, not S4. I think Sumail couldn't arrow because Seb just kept running in front of him, so they couldn't combo on that to get another kill.
The observer was bless them see. Fly, he knew he had to dodge. Moved out to the side, and then just his easy pickings.
I'd love to see a replay of that because that was so beautifully executed from EG, how they did the avalanche toss into the terrorize on the jugger. All they needed was to connect an arrow, but I think Seb just ran in front of the Sumail Mirana and he couldn't land it. That's got to be what happened, and that's huge for the outcome of that. Instead of losing their biggest core, they get 2 kills. And sure, Arteezy's getting some space, but man, this is by his standards super late Battle Fury, and he had a good start too.
Chris dead. EMP Tornado catching him up on the top, but Shadow Roll will add some protection. He's got no more mana to work with. We'll get the damage into Notel, hung around a little longer. Arrow, it flies forward. A nice long 5 seconds stun. Over on the Rubicon will now go down and fly.
Mantap.
Thompson. EG, they needed something, and that's something. Seb.
Loronnya anjir Seb.
I'll do this solo. Maybe I won't. Ana's nearby.
Lorot dong.
Spell, counter spell up and running. Ana's not going to take that risk of an Omni Slash. Maybe now it's time to pick up those bounty runes. 4 of them on the field. They've been there for 30 seconds. An unusual occurrence for 20-minute bounty runes.
Yep.
But there's just so much fighting with 26 kills 20 minutes into this game.
Sumail with the scouting arrow. Doesn't find anyone. If Jerax knew, he would have taken the other one, I think, as well. He gets one. That's I think 3 for 1 trade on bounty runes in total. Once Ana gets his shit together and takes this one. He doesn't want it, I don't know. He wants to push the wave first, that's fine. Now he's gonna take it on the way back. Come on, big camp.
Jerax is really just trying to stay on Arteezy like a tick.
Dude, is he doing this to just annoy us? It's there. He's not baiting it either.
It's income. It's coming in value. Maybe 1 gold, but it's value.
He felt like nobody from EG was going to come and try to take that. Because it was not set up as a bait. There was nobody there that would have killed on the rim.
Your Alacrity buff ups up. Attack speed increased by 100, damage by 10. And Roshan, difficult to kill off. Once again, this Enchantress. Even Roshan thinks she's untouchable. But what does EG do? They scan Roshan. They know what's going on, but how fast can you move over? You're gathering for a smoke, but Roshan's practically dead. 1.4k, 1k, and they're instead going for what? Nothing. TP over does nothing. They stay with the lanes.
And Jerax is set up bottom. They want to connect over and try to kill Arteezy probably. Never mind, he's not going to go for it. Just going to push out the wave.
Just counter-spelling just in case. OG can move up through mid. It has been the name of their game throughout this tournament. 20 minutes, 22 minutes hits. Let's go high ground, boys. Ana the front liner. Alacrity him up. Able to get a quick entangle, but hey, spin's also great for Ana. Samel's getting some level of damage.
They have so much sustain. They have the Enchantress heal, they have healing ward. They're going to go in with the next wave. He has the spin and electricity. They're just going to slowly chip this down. And Arteezy, in the meantime, has to try to get as much as possible. They don't want to take this fight because, realistically, OG are not favored in this.
Here we go again. Spin, attack, fortify has to be used. Arteezy, as he said, like he's refusing to join this fight. EG just have to hold the high ground.
They might have to lose a Rex too, actually, before they can fight. I think Arteezy without Manta in this game is not going to be particularly useful.
Thompson's hunting. 460 move speed inside of that Ghost Walk.
Yep.
Looking for a target, actually just inside the smoke. Like that's not
OG
Ghost
backing
Walk.
off, this became pretty obvious to Arteezy that something is up. But this is the thing about Crosswix Invoker compared to Exhort Invoker, is Invokers playing this build are generally really high on mana, so you will be looking for, okay, maybe Arteezy can come in toward the end of the fight and get a big mana void that gets kills, but if you hit the CMP on a couple of heroes, you're super high on mana the whole time. Even that won't be an option to get.
EG's coming out. Moonlight Shadow and Smoke being committed. They want to wrap around the back. They want to do something about Jirax. You probably need a ward up on this hillside to make it happen. CM's got one, both Sentry and Observer. Fly drops the Sentry to begin with, Observer straight after. So while that's been happening, there was no defense. Tier 3 tower is gone, with even a couple of creeps to help the push go. Anna spins. Now he's going to take the melee ranks. You said EG may have to pay the price. The toss, they played one in deep. Seb under the tier 4 towers. The arrow looking to connect as well, but the Omni Slash S4.
Nggak kena terorisnya.
Anna will find the kill. Fly trying to let it go. Anna's taking through all of this, however. The sustain. I thought EG are meant to be Captain America, but OG, they can do this all day. And the cold snap. That's not going to follow it up. 14 HP. The sun's break. No, you've got no tail. He stole the blink from Anti-Mage. And jumped in. Of course you could do that.
Urung. Arteezy kurung balik anjir.
No one from EG who can get close. Jirax comes in with the epicenter, expecting EG to engage, but they're not there. As OG look for another lane of racks. Pushing through. Crit. He's getting the chip damage into Thompson. Where's your jump? Arteezy is still farming in mid lane. He will not join. Anti-Mage has not finished farming, but S4 is dead for 70 seconds. He's losing his teammates. And what does Arteezy want to do? The answer for Anti-Mage, keep on farming. What's OG gonna do?
Keep on pushing?
Sounds good to me.
There's no Tiny for 50 seconds. This is... It's over. They don't have the damage. They can't kill these heroes, I think. Jump in.
Won't be a target. Marana, Samael, he's leaping the wrong direction, but he had no other choice. He tried to get the Aghanim damage out, but now he doesn't have a way free. Arteezy's trying to grab the creep waves, but they're all pushed in. The bottom lane's pushed in, which is allowing this pressure from OG up on the top as Fly. Man, Jirax, he doesn't give two hoots. He's got defensive Yule Scepter available. Who will get some chip damage into Notal, but he has to fight. BKB is up for Arteezy. Now's the time, but he's getting picked.
Aduh. Ya.
Well, he'll achieve one kill. Overrun to Notal. He'll blink away. Regeneration is required. Salving up so they can get back to the front lines. They can't lose all these lanes of racks. Tiny is back up again. The TP's coming to the sideline. Here comes S4. Avalanche. Toss. They look towards Thompson. And maybe they got enough damage. Arteezy. The virus from Jirax. It'll connect.
CP free sih. Gila, CP free banget anjing.
This happened really fast. I just want to point out how fast this happened. The game was really even for the first 15 minutes. And then we have this one moment where OG get multiple kills.
CP free banget anjing.
And since then it's been OG all the way to get the Roche. They go push with their invincible Jugger with healing.
Oh, Samael. Up in the air, Cole Snap, he can leap away. This is the last chance for EG. All 5 players up. There is no Raxus, no tier 4 towers to really speak of, just the one. Marana jumps in, but Anna still stands his ground. Where's the attack? EG gather on the Notal flag, looking for an opportunity, and Anna, he's begging for it. He's got mana style, he's ready to dodge. They're into the trees. Arteezy blinks away and maybe tops him. He'll be set up towards the air. The Curse Crown is there. He'll be able to get the nice chain stun. Chris low on life. Arteezy getting some cleave damage. They're sent away by the Terrorize. Arteezy
Siapa masih free?
Nggak ada Mac Plus anjir.
from OG. It continues to run. Arteezy protected by the BKB. He has to jump back in again. Crit, S4. They even get the Tornado onto Arteezy over in the tree line.
Gigi.
The lights are going out for EG right now. Luckily,
CP free banget anjing.
Oke, mantap.
Oke, ketemu LGD.
That's, you know what? This game is anti-mage in a nutshell right now. If you have a good start, you have good landing stage. This hero, it needs time, it needs space.
Krik-krik kalau yang salaman.
CP anjir, free banget sumpah CP.
And then when it comes to defense, well, guess what? You have an anti-mage. It's kind of 4
Here
and
we
5.
go.
OG run them over. They put so much pressure. They take the Roche. They go for all the racks in one streak, and they made it look really easy. But there's in this replay,
salah
like 1 or 2 moments to go, and look back on and be like, man, this game is so different. And this hero is proving to be a huge problem. They won all 3 games in the series. It was a big nuisance to the other team in all 3 of the games. But you gotta. Against OG, you gotta choose. What do you want to ban?
You gotta do something. OG, they're looking absolutely amazing. Even without Ire, even without Mag, they are a world-class team looking to potentially be the first team to get back-to-back victories. Will it be possible? They look good. They look amazing. Doubters, if you thought last year was maybe a fluke, OG are looking to prove it right
CP free banget anjing, CP free. Gila CP. CP free banget anjing, CP free.